The football talk show that holds back nothing on opinions.
Straight shooting LJA.
Hi, I'm John Sitton.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
G-Man.
Samira Swanee of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
We the people, for the people. Jazzy Fizzle.
Your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Each and every Monday night of your lives.
At youtube.com/pitch talk.
For podcast links and information, check out our official website, www.pitch-talk.com.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez.
Grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Christian Carambeu.
Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan.
David Gopklin.
I'm Rob Lusher.
Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
Former Chairman of Ibis FC.
Chairman of Alexandra Park FC.
And you're listening to
Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. Make sure you join the revolution, the football revolution.
Hi, I'm John Sitton and I'm here with Gavin, Liam and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Rob Perez. My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, Director of the 4-Year Plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
I'm Rob Lusher, former Chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samira Swanee, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening to
Pitch Talk.
Oh, what was that?
Said man said he can't sell water to a well. He thinks he's Jay-Z around there. Yeah?
I am a hustler, baby. I'll sell ice in the winter. I'll sell fire to hell. Fire in hell. I'm a hustler, baby. I said water to a well. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we just opened the show with an obligatory Jay-Z reference. We've done obligatory Boondocks references, obligatory wrestling references, obligatory Simpsons references, and pretty much everything else in between. But we would like to say this is an obligatory Pitch Talk reference. Why? Because, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Straight Shooting LJA, the G-Man, and Jazzy Fizzle proudly bring to you the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions. Why? Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And, of course, the pitch is where we talk. Aided today by Dr. Pepper, I must say. But, one of them ones. We are your Monday Night Footballing Fix. www.pitch-talk.com is the official website. www.pitch-talk.com. Keep up with us and see what we are up to. Also, Facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. MySpace.com/Pitch Talk. PitchTalk.blogspot.com or .co.uk will get you to our blogs. Much more blogs, including a brand new one that we put up today by Dave Meir, aka Mearsey, at Mearsey on Twitter. Big shouts to him, big shouts. Thank you for that blog. It's quite an interesting one about a great World Cup so far, because we still at the semi-finals and the third place playoff and then the final to go on Sunday. So it's going to be very interesting. Yeah. But twitter.com/Pitch Talk or at Pitch Talk on Twitter. Tweet there. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we are up to. 07535804466 is the mobile number. Call us, text us, let us know your views. Pitch Talk 1 on Skype. Also, there is Pitch Talk Live on Google Plus as well. Big shout outs to a number of people. Big shout outs to Chris Bullock of Kick for Life out there in Lesotho, South Africa. Big time shout outs. They've actually already got their pre-season going, which is impressive because the season only really finished, a month ago? So that's very impressive. But big shout out also to the Section 357 show, Super Navajo, Big Shot Ron, Floyd, and Sunday as well. Big time shout outs to all of the guys there. Also, big shout out to Twin Gunner. Big shout out to @TweetWhiteLine, Finn White Line on Facebook, facebook.com/Finn White Line Magazine, and FinnWhiteLineMagazine.com. We were in issue 0, so check out issue 0 if you can. By the way, of course, a big shout out to an old member of the Pitch Talk family, and that is Mr. Johnny Sykes. And of course, big shout out to the Section 357 guys who were celebrating the 4th of July over the weekend. So all good, all good. You know what? Big shout out also to Rebel Nature Studios. Max Mills, what's going on, Mills? Also, big shouts to Nathan Arsenal, aka Nathan McCree. What's up, dude? Hope he's listening. Big time shout out to RMV Wrestling. Big shout out to Samir Sawney, director of Motivate Sports and Fitness. Facebook.com/MotivateSF and @MotivateSF on Twitter. Big shout out, of course, to Sophie, Rachel, and of course, Pitch Talk's favorite rabbit, that being Scotty the rabbit, Scotty, if you will. Big shout out to Girls on the Ball, @Girls on the Ball on Twitter, and www.girlsontheball.com and facebook.com/Girls on the Ball. Big time shout outs. Big time shout outs. And you know what? Yeah, we would actually like to send our condolences. It is 7/7 today. Which is kind of an unfortunate date whenever it comes around. The London bombings took place in 2005. And, of course, sending our condolences out to the families of that. And also our condolences to the family of Real Madrid legend Alfredo Di Stefano. Big time condolences to his family. He's died at the age of 88. He actually won 5 straight European Cups, scoring in each final between 1956 and 1960. It's amazing. That is what you call a Galactico, a true legend. I mean, 5 European Cups, 8 Spanish leagues, 1 Scottish Cup, 1 Intercontinental Cup, 2 Argentine leagues with River Plate, 1 America Cup with River Plate, and 4 Colombian leagues with Millonarios Bogota. So, very, very successful career. So, it's one of them. Was just like Booker T, he was a 5-time champion.
I say it almost matches my Football Manager status.
Yeah, I love that.
That's an obligatory Pitch Talk video reference, if you get what I mean.
Oh yeah. I know I get it. That was a lot of fun actually. It's one of them ones. Yeah. But it is one of them ones. Well, we got to blow the whistle on that, at least temporarily. And I'd like to ask you, how's your week and weekend been?
Oh well, the week's been good, and the weekend, it's been even better. I've got to say, I've been loving the weather. The insects are getting on my nerves because they've been biting up my legs, and I'm just all itchy right now. But in terms of the football, World Cup just keeps getting better and better, and it's getting closer to the end, which is kind of sad. But apart from that, it's been work, football, having great times, drinking, eating.
You drink and be merry.
And the sun shines out. What about yourself?
It's been a mad busy week. Couple of botches on my part, but I won't go into that. But it's been actually a really interesting week. One of them was that getting to know a couple of my colleagues at Sainsbury's. I'm not going to tell you which one. Is one of them was a couple of my colleagues at Sainsbury's outside of work as well. And by the way, Mo Hosseini, condolences, brother. It's one of them ones, man. For your condolences on your loss recently. And it's one of them ones. It's one of them ones, man. Yeah, Saturday. Was it Saturday? Yeah, it was Saturday. Yeah, it wasn't Friday. Friday with you in Shoreditch.
Yeah.
Was actually a laugh.
I forgot about that.
Until a couple of those moronic Brazilian fans.
Yeah.
It was that as soon as that happened, it just soured both of us inside. Come on, Colombia. I was neutral until that stupidness happened. That road trip and workshop. No slight on the road trip and workshop, by the way.
Yeah.
Big shouts to Vasco Comede, who was actually playing out there, aka Lay's Breaks, who was with us 2 weeks ago on the shop. And it's one of them ones, man. You get a moron in every location, in every venue. So always happens.
It's like when you're in a packed up venue and people are trying to own space.
Mm.
It's just very irritating.
No, of course. And I just love the fact that the guy knocked you, your drink went flying, and then he tried to blame it on you. And it's like, no, you knocked him, which made the drink go over you. Because if you hadn't knocked him in the first place, there wouldn't have been no problem.
Well, it wasn't even just that. It's because they knocked me off the stage that we were all standing on.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Stupid.
come on, guys.
It's one of them ones. Let's not dwell on the stupid. But otherwise, we'd be here all night. But yeah, I mean, it's one.
Giving golden showers.
Who's giving golden showers?
No, well, cider showers. That's what I was doing. I was giving cider showers.
I'm glad you clarified that.
What? I was drinking. I think I was drinking an apple cider. It was golden.
I'm just saying. I'm glad you clarified it was a cider.
Anyway,
shower.
I'm getting back to the social networks because I'm just talking about.
Right, all I'm gonna say is that you saw what I put in WhatsApp. There is a music called Urine Town. So that's where I'm going with this. It's like, whoa. It's like, hold on, lad. You're making a musical about peeing? Is what? Yeah. And Mike Harneman's actually just joined us in the Skype chat. Yes, there is a musical called Urine Town. If you pick up a copy of Friday's Evening Standard in London, you will see an advert for the musical called Urine Town. Like when I saw it, it was like weird. It was just utterly weird. It's like what? So essentially, that basically translates to P-Town. So it's I don't know where people are coming from with these ideas. I really don't. I just find it funny. As I look at a Dr. Pepper bottle that says, "What's the worst that can happen?" I'm thinking, "What's the worst that can happen in Urine Town?" Well, you gonna get peed on? Where's R. Kelly? I bet it's one of them ones. I bet R. Kelly's a silent backer. Was it a silent partner in the Urine Town venture? It wouldn't surprise me.
I'm gonna pee on you.
Yes, I do. I am. Your body is a porta potty.
Drip.
Oh yeah. I wanna pee on you. Drip, drip, drip. Oh, I want to pee in your food. Only thing that made my life complete is when I turn your face into a toilet seat. That's wrong. All I can say is big shouts to Dave Chappelle. I really want to see his latest stand-up stuff. Apparently he's making a return. But it is one of them ones, man. Yeah, the weekend was good. Yeah, I said on Saturday. Oddly enough, I went to the Hot Poles in Hammersmith. Was planning to watch the second half of the match after working there on Saturday, the Holland Costa Rica game, and for 20 minutes I was sitting on my Jack Jones just watching it, and then one of my work colleagues comes in and says, "Oh yeah, we got some of our colleagues here. They're around the corner." And it's like, what? I didn't even know there was another screen in here. It's like, we're around the corner. No, it was good. No, it was good though. Luke, Mark, Faduma, and also Alan was there as well. So all good, man. All good. It was a lot of fun. The penalty shootout was fun as well. But we'll get into that in a minute. But all I gotta say is, you know how we do it. This is Pitch Talk. Yeah. But we actually would like to ask. Of course, we like to ask the Skypers how their week and weekend has been. Tom Wood, how's your week and weekend been?
The week was okay, but the weekend was alright, but it's going to be boring from like Saturdays from now on.
Oh, wait, you kind of broke up a touch there. What was that?
I said my week was alright. Also, my Saturday is going to be alright. But the football season's coming back around. But now my football season's over. We don't go back to the 30th of September.
It's gonna be quite a break, man. You gotta keep yourself on your toes, though. Keep yourself sharp.
Yeah, we'll be going for, I'm thinking about going to go for a few jogs to lose some weight. So it's all good.
It's one of them ones. It's one of them ones, man. G-Man, would you say it's a lot easier to lose it than it is to keep it off?
Nah, it's a lot easier to keep it than lose it. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm just gonna be honest. I've been trying to lose it for the last 5 years.
Oh man.
Nah, I'm joking.
At least you ain't Rick Ross where you got to say I told the baby I ain't pregnant.
No. Taking the keywords of Mrs. Manisha Taylor. Yeah, taking the keywords. You are what you eat. Yeah, that's one. You
so
are,
based on today,
you are what you put in. So
based on today, that means I'm KFC chicken. What did you say? You are what you put in.
Well, you are the hard work. You are what?
I was gonna say, if you are what you put in, there are some people who like to do things with cucumbers. I'll leave that aside.
Wow.
But yeah, it's one of them ones. I'll leave that one aside. Wait,
cucumber.
Hey, it's one of them. I ain't falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Take that bag off your lap. It's one of them ones. I got to watch New Jack Hughes shoot again, man. It's about banana. I ain't falling for the banana.
That absolutely threw me. That threw me.
That's where I got that line from. Banana in the tailpipe. But we've also got Mike Harneman in the house. Mike, how goes it? How's your week and weekend been?
Yeah, pretty good. The week was not too bad, really. Just enjoying the World Cup games that have been on. And the weekend was good, really. I had my cousin's wedding yesterday, and that was a good day. It was quite nice and sunny and hot where we were as well. So, yeah, it was good.
Nah, good stuff. How's everything at Storm?
Yeah, it's still going good. We've got shows on virtually all the time. So, yeah, it's quite busy.
Nah, all good, man. All good. It's one of them ones, man. Big shout out to Storm FM. All good. I think that's where Joe BK is tonight. He's not here with us. He's one of them ones, but he's not here with us. He's like, where is he? But it is one of them ones. Tom Wood, you wanted to give a shout out to someone?
Yeah, basically it's a shout out to my mate Jack. He's got a friendly match coming up for Southend under 16s, and he'll be playing against Liverpool under 16s at Liverpool's training ground. So a big shout out to him.
Ah, nice one, man. We gotta get him tuned in as well. Yeah, you definitely gotta get him tuned in.
Too busy training.
Hey, there ain't no such thing as too busy when there's a podcast of a show. It's one of them. But I think Ross Vernon might still be going to get a drink, and he's just popped back. Ross, how's your week and weekend been?
Yeah, not bad, thanks. Yourself?
Yeah, all good, man. All good. You been up to much?
No, not really. Just been watching the football matches that's been on, and also playing on this yesterday of the under-21s Leeds game against Grimsby, which was 0-0, and Louis Coyle broke his leg in that game. So speedy recovery to Louis Coyle of Leeds United under-21s.
Nah, definitely, man. Never good to see anyone. Never good to see anyone never good to see anyone injured. I'll put it that way. But it's one of them ones. But you know what? We got a lot of shows.
I want to do another big shout out before we.
Yeah, go on.
I just want to shout out little bro Corey, because London Youth Games, Lucian went up against the host of teams again this year in a 5-side tournament, and Lucian were victorious again.
Yeah.
So they won it 2 years in a row. Apparently, I didn't actually go to see it because I had some dental work to sort out by a beautiful hygienist who I'm going to start going to every day, like every 3 months or something like that. But my teeth are hurting right now, so I might
eventually it'll be one of them. Eventually it'll be one of them ones. Like, so G, where have you been all weekend? Oh, don't worry about it. But all I can say is I told her, my baby.
No, but I just want to say a big shout out to him and his team for another good victory, because that's excellent, man.
Yeah,
it's excellent, doing good things.
Nah, definitely, man, definitely. I said, man. Big shout out to Jazzy Fizzle, one of our co-hosts who actually couldn't be here tonight. So it's one of them. Big shout out, Jazzy. It's one of them. So it's kind of an odd one that he's not here, actually, considering some of the general talking points we've got. So.
Probably like all the other Man United fans hung over with the Van Gaal victory over the weekend.
Oh my God, we'll get into that one in spades. We'll get in that one, baby. We'll get in that one. I gotta say, we're getting that one. We're gonna get seasoned with the show, baby. We're gonna get seasoned. So without further ado, it's time to pause that track that we had underneath us. It's time for us to get seasoned, baby, like the American dream, baby. Time for us to get seasoned and start the show in earnest. Start the show right, start it properly, and we're gonna start it with a bit of this. Results and analysis. Yeah, it's results at Brazil. Yes, it's results and analysis. Do you remember? Would you like to start with those results from Tuesday? Don't know why I'm speaking that quietly.
Let's go down. Okay, from Tuesday the 1st of July. Oh, this is kind of odd by Sky, back to front. But yeah, Tuesday the 1st of July 2014, World Cup round 16. Argentina versus Switzerland. I'll start with. Argentina won that 1-0. And Angel Di Maria scored on the 118th minute in what was a tightly contested match between both teams. You know, a lot of chances by both
Messi fluffed a few good chances, actually. His head-to-head record with Thibaut Courtois, apparently it's not that good.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't mean to kind of cut you off there. Would you like to continue? No, that's later.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Oh, that was recorded.
Okay, cool. No, apologies about that. Just give my.
We have done this for 4 years, people. Don't worry.
But anyway, Belgium 2, USA 1, and you know what? I'm not even gonna lie. I had a nice little tiny bet on this one, and I thought I was gonna get victory because I was actually rooting for the USA on this. So
you were involved in the Tim Howard could save hashtag.
I wasn't involved in that hashtag because I didn't think Tim Howard would be one of the main men. I was actually expecting potentially what's his name?
What, Jermaine Jones?
Nah, not Jermaine Jones. Up front.
Who are you thinking of? Up front for the USA, Clint Dempsey.
I was expecting Dempsey to be the man. To be honest.
Nah,
I was expecting him to.
Mike in the Skype chat was saying Jose Altidore, and it's like, man,
he's injured,
Altidore himself. No, he came back for that match.
What is it?
Yeah. He Altidored himself. I just love the fact that I'll see the hashtag Altidored, and it's like, man, he Altidored himself when he got injured. It was funny. It was quite funny, but no, I expected Dempsey to be the man. That's what I'm saying.
I was expecting him to be a man, and again in another tightly contested match because goals never came until basically in extra time as well. This one went 0-0 to extra time. Then De Bruyne scored on the 93rd minute, and then on 106, and then on 105, Lukaku scored again, make it 2-0. But USA looked like they was on a bit of a comeback when Green scored a fantastic goal. And I've got to say, De Bruyne's goal was sweet. These were 3 sweet goals in this game.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 2 sweet.
No,
3.
No, these were 3 sweet goals. De Bruyne's goal was just absolutely great team play by the Belgian team. And a nice finish by him. Lukaku's goal, you know, he didn't get played in the game because Belgium were playing Orgy or whatever he's playing.
Orgy!
Whoever you're linked to. Orgy. I've been calling him Orgy, yeah? because you know what? The way
If rumours are to be believed, Orji might be coming to Liverpool.
yeah, but the way
Orji.
the commentators have been speaking about it is like they talk about him like the orgasms over him. You know, he to be honest.
I'm not the only wrong one on this show, and you just heard that.
No. But it's like
I love this shit.
they're building him up to be one of these great players. Yeah, like he's done a James Rodriguez or something like that, and he ain't really done much.
Yeah.
You know, he's had a few great touches on the ball, and he shows a flashes of skills here and there. But you know, do you get what I'm saying? It's like they're overbuilding him up.
Oh yeah, of course. But it's a World
And
Cup.
to me, why Lukaku ain't starting over him is a myth.
Yeah.
That was a real myth for me.
No, yeah.
But it proved dividends because he came on and he had, you know, quite a few good runs in that second half of extra time. You know, he was rewarded with his goal in 105 minutes, and you know, pretty much he's the one that got them through.
It was one of them ones. I love the fact that I think it was before De Bruyne's goal where Lukaku was involved in the setup, and the commentators like literally a minute before were criticizing Lukaku, saying he hadn't scored. Then he gives the assist for the first goal, and it's like, have some of that.
But you know what?
He must have heard it and been like, put that in your pipe and smoke it, and then I'm gonna score just to rub it in.
For me, that's been the story of the World Cup with commentators, though. They've given stick to certain players.
They shoot their mouths off
like Messi, and then Messi goes and scores a wonder goal, and it's like, all right. Or Messi goes and sets up Di Maria, and it's like.
Well, you got people on Facebook groups and forums who do exactly the same thing. Shoot their mouths off before they're giving someone a chance to do something.
Yeah, true.
Which is annoying. Is one of them was. But with that Belgium USA game, I actually watched the second half. I watched the end of the second half in extra time.
Yeah.
Swung around to a pub. The Pack Horse and Talbot in Chiswick on my way home. I thought, I'm getting a beer and settling in for this. Yeah, it was worth it. It was worth it. There were some funny things though. What's it? You know how Wikipedia can be edited by anyone. Yeah. That's why it's not trusted as an academic source, or an official academic source. Secretary of Defense of the United States of America, incumbent Tim Howard since July 1st, 2014. It's so stupid. It is actually so stupid. But there were some funny ones. There were some funny ones in terms of things Tim Howard could save. You've got him doing that with the Titanic. You've got Miley Cyrus on the Wrecking Ball. You've got him doing that with Bambi. It's so stupid. There's always the Great Wall of America. Tim Howard is so silly. Things Tim Howard could save. Mufasa. Oh, Mufasa. It's so and they had Janet Jackson's nipple. I even saw one. What's it? A meteorite that wiped out the dinosaurs. You just see Tim Howard. What was the other one? Oh, there was one more that I actually found hilarious. Oh crap! What was? Oh, I can't remember the other one. But it was just so silly in terms of things Tim Howard could save. The worst one though, I actually saw an OWR here. Big shout out to Mick Foley, aka Mankind. Dude, love Cactus Jack. It's one of them. Was the most stupid one I saw though was Mankind in '98 getting thrown off the Hell in a Cell, and someone had photoshopped Tim Howard, and it's like, all right, this is getting a bit stupid now. No one of them was where someone takes a joke that a little bit too far and it's just stupid. Yeah. That was my view of it, but it's one of them ones, man. Mike Harneman, what was your view on Argentina, on the Argentina Switzerland match and also the USA match as well? If you want to jump in on that, because we've seen what you put in the Skype chat.
Okay, yeah, the Argentina one. I thought they were quite poor. I thought they've not had the best tournament anyway. I think they've kind of been edging out other teams by like the odd goal or two.
But they're in the semis though.
Of course they are, but I don't know whether that's. I'm not sure if they're saving themselves a bit now. I think. Well, I think they've probably underestimated Switzerland. I think, and I think they know now that they can't underestimate Holland, because Holland have already proved against Spain what they can do to some teams anyway.
I mean, it's one of those. I don't think you could afford to save yourself at any stage in the World Cup unless you're already through. Like, you've won your first 2 games and you're already guaranteed through. That would be the only time.
I just want to ask you, Matt, do you think we've been spoiled with the style of football Spain have been playing for the last, 8 years or so? And then now come this World Cup. There's no other teams that play like them. And now they've gone out of the World Cup. Well, since they've gone out of the World Cup, everyone's just, playing their style of football that just doesn't compete. Do you reckon we've just been spoiled with it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that we have. And I think now people are expecting that from Spain as well. And they're expecting other teams like Brazil, like Germany, like Argentina to up their game as well.
I heard that. I mean, the Belgium-USA match, what did you think of that? Did you want to add anything on that?
I'm a bit like you. I only actually caught the second half and extra time myself as well. And I thought Belgium just about deserved it from what I saw. But yeah, I'm kind of a bit surprised that Lukaku started. But it kind of proves in the end that Belgium, I don't think they're all that anyway. I think their golden generation as such isn't a golden generation. There's players there that are not bad players, but if you look at them and you compare them to Germany, realistically, or like Brazil, a lot of them players wouldn't get anywhere near them teams.
But you got to bear in mind that it's true, but also you got to bear in mind that team's quite young. Across the board, that is actually quite a young team, and the fact of the matter is, for them to be labelled a golden generation when this is their first tournament together, so there's a lot of those players who've got years left. Benteke is about 20 or so, or something. He's like 20, 21, something like that. He's still really young, and even though he missed the tournament, he's still got another couple World Cups in him. So these players, especially under Mark Wilmots as well, there's time. The time is definitely on their side. Calling them a golden generation, I wouldn't say that, because that term is thrown around way too loosely. The word legend is thrown around way too loosely in football as well. But this one of them was golden generation. How can you be a golden generation and win bugger all? That's what always gets me. That's what gets me about England's golden generation. But it's one of them. It is one of them. I love the fact that the tune just changed, almost kind of nudging me on a bit. So I'll take the bait. I'll nudge on. Well, that was Friday, 4th of July 2014. We're going to start with France 0, Germany 1. Mats Hummels, his header, getting the only goal of the game after 12 minutes. And you know what? Manmo, this was kind of a battle with the sweeper keepers, because both Neuer and Lloris had to play that way, but Neuer was superb. Neuer was basically playing as a centre back. He was quality. I mean, I think he's a fantastic goalkeeper. Best in the world at the moment? Yeah, probably. But for me, Mats Hummels' goal, he kind of just really muscled his way into that position. It's like defender needed to be stronger. You can't be getting out-muscled like that. But, I mean, the fact of the matter is, France did not really, for me, do enough. They didn't really do enough to worry Germany. Because Germany, they got their goal and they just kind of sat back on it. Sat back, took it easy. So, it was one of them. For me, Germany know how to close out a lead, which makes the semi-final interesting. But we'll get onto that in a sec. And for me, the fact of the matter is, I said France didn't do enough. I mean, Benzema had one gilt-edged chance, which he didn't obviously put away. But it was one of them ones. I expected more from France.
No, you know what? I totally agree with you. To be honest, when we spoke about the Hummels going to get the goal, what was it?
Well, before we watched Brazil-Colombia,
Brazil-Colombia, and it was like my view of that was it was far too easy for Hummels to get it. It was a good header. It was a terrific header by Hummels, but Varane, he should have basically blocked him out. He should have never given him the time to get that ball. Even I don't know if he bodied him.
It's like, get out of my way.
Yeah, he did put some strength into it because it's 50-50.
Yeah.
But and then after that, like you said, Germany done well to close the game out. But France, they just looked lethargic. They just look. They play. There was no. It's not what like a Champions League final where there's intensity.
Yeah.
And when two good teams are going at each other, they're going at each other.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
look at Atletico and Real Madrid. It was one of them was Atletico just kind of really ran out of legs in the end. But
chances at both sides. And it's like the chances that France were getting, like you said, they weren't gilt-edged chances apart from that Benzema chance right at the end where he should have passed the ball.
Yeah.
I don't know why he tried to shoot there with his left foot, and it just showed with the way Neuer saved it with the one hand. It was like that was just far too easy for him.
Nonchalant, it's like,
So
bit nonchalant. But I mean,
Germany deserved winners, I would say.
I hear that. Speaking of deserved winners, or maybe slightly less.
Wait. Go back to the. Also, don't forget. Remember, Germany could have been 2-3 up. Remember Ozil's ball across to.
Yeah. That's a good point. I mean, you had I think it was Götze or Muller. Hey, it's one of them ones, bro. I mean, Mike Hahnemann, did you want to jump in on France Germany?
Yeah, like I said in the chat there, I think France surprised me at how little of a game they actually gave Germany. Because Germany didn't need to be at their best, or anywhere near for me as well, to actually be able to close out the 1-0 win and actually hold on to that. Because France didn't actually trouble them an awful lot. They had a couple of chances, but they're missing someone who's kind of like the playmaker in midfield, the Dan kind of player for me, someone that can get the strings going a bit.
I mean, it's weird actually because there's a lot of teams that haven't, for me, impressed. It doesn't look like anyone really wants to take this World Cup by the scruff of the neck and be regarded as favourites. I mean, Brazil have the favourites tag because home field advantage, but no one looks like they really want it. No, there's not been any real batterings. It's been an odd one, but it's been intriguing. It's made it intriguing. I mean, Ross Vernon, you wanted to jump in as well.
Yes, I missed the game last, so I watched it on delay earlier on this afternoon before I did a radio show myself, because I did one earlier this afternoon. And like you were saying, it was a good header from almost, but I thought France should have won it, to be honest, because I thought they played well in part, but to a good header from Hummels, and that proved to be the only goal of the game, which, as you know, if you need to take chances if you want to go through to the semi-finals, and Germany took their only chance of the game for me, and it was a good header from Hummels, and for me, after the semi-finals, I can see it being a Brazil versus Holland final. For me, Liam, don't know about you two.
We'll get. I mean, we're gonna get on to predictions in a second. In a second, actually, but let's go on to another result, because we got Brazil 2, Colombia 1, a match that myself and the G-Man actually watched down in the Road Trip and Workshop down in Shoreditch. Big shout out. But yeah, it was one of them. It was Brazil 2, Colombia 1. Thiago Silva. Speaking of too easy, far post unmarked is defend. Like, if you're gonna man mark. If you're gonna man mark, you need to keep an eye on your man. And the Colombian defender just did not keep an eye on Thiago Silva, and he got away way too easily, tapping, even kind of a fortuitous tapping at that at the far post on 7 minutes. But David Luiz scored a belter of a free kick on 68 minutes. Brilliant free kick, gotta say. But James,
Was it a free kick?
No, I still don't think it was. I still don't think it was a free kick. It was questionable. Like I was saying to you at the time, that it's like, that's a harsh free kick. Yeah. And it's like, but then Luiz went and scored it, and James Rodriguez scored a penalty on 18 minutes, and it was like, oh yeah. By this time, like we were talking about earlier, by this time we were like, come on Colombia, yeah, one more, go on Colombia. We were bang on the Colombia bandwagon. Big shout out to Chris Rodriguez, Andres Rodriguez. Big shout out. It's one of them was two old friends of mine who are Colombian as well, and it's one of them ones where like it was one of those matches that Colombia I think had a legit goal disallowed as well.
Yeah.
I mean, that must be said. It's questionable. I don't think it should have been disallowed. But leaving that aside, I think Colombia were too focused on stifling Brazil.
Mhm.
Too focused on that rather than playing their own high energy attacking game, high paced attacking game. They were way too concerned, and it's not what I said on Facebook. I don't even know where Mike's going with that. But it's one of them ones for me. It was a case of with Colombia. I said they were too, like I said to you on the night. They were too concerned. They were legitimately too concerned with trying to stifle Brazil. And it's like if you play your own game, you've got to focus on your own game first before trying to stop others. That's the way I would see it. But yeah, I said, I think it's one of them ones where the goal legitimately should have stood. So it's one of them ones. But G-Man, you want to?
Yeah, no. You know what? Your points there that you touched on, I agree with all of them. Gotta say with the.
It's a rarity that he agrees with me on everything.
No, I gotta say with the whole Colombia situation. I had a personal belief that James Rodriguez wouldn't turn up as he has in the other matches. Yeah. Like he wouldn't be as impactful.
Which he wasn't, but he had no service.
True.
Brazil cut the supply lines. He was up top.
True.
There was that opportunity when from a throw-in, got the ball on the left-hand side.
Yeah.
There's no one in the middle. The thrower is just like strolling into the middle of the park, and I'm like, mate, support him.
Yeah.
Support him. Because you want to see a striker get support, so he scores.
Yeah. And that's where the whole them being, I would say, scared of Brazil. Because I was saying beforehand as well, maybe I never said scared, but I said maybe they're starstruck. Because obviously in that region of the world, Brazil are the big team. So when those sort of players come up against Brazil in a stage like this, it's not an ordinary match or a qualifying match. It's not like a qualifier. You go into a qualifying match.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, it's similar to a Copa America.
And to me, for you to say that, you know, they tried to stifle Brazil just shows you the quality that Brazil actually have. Because Colombia have been excellent this World Cup.
Yeah, and this is not a vintage Brazil team by any stretch of the imagination.
But there are a few players that I've been disappointed with in the Brazilian team in that match. Hulk, I thought he was poor. You know, there's other players I think that are deserving of a spot in that team than he was in the last two games that I've seen. Fred, I don't think he's had much of a use in the team. He might be a vocal point of being like the elder statesman, but it's like he's not really helping Neymar out in any sort of way or fashion in my eyes. You know. And it's just miserable to see Neymar go out the way that he did. That's one thing I want to touch.
Yeah, the back injury. Apparently the prognosis is supposed to rest for like 40 to 45 days or something like that. Rumors are kind of going around that there's discussions about a pain-killing injection going around, and it's like, no, don't do that, because
it's more harmful than it is useful.
Yeah, dude's got an injury, that cracked vertebrae, I think it is, one of the vertebrae in his back, and the fact of the matter is, at least it's one of them ones where it's not like a herniated disc, where if you've got a herniated disc in your back, it's a common wrestling injury, but if you've got a herniated disc in your back, you're pretty much screwed.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get rid of that. But with a back injury, you can overcome it, but you don't want to be mucking around with that.
No, too.
For me, it's one of them ones like there was one occasion. I think it might have been this past season. There was one occasion where I landed very awkwardly on my back. I think it was earlier this season.
It was.
Where I landed very awkwardly on my back, and it was like I felt my legs go numb. I felt pins and needles in my legs. So apparently Neymar apparently said to I think he said
That's that
to
same-
David Luiz.
That's that same game we had a clash with the own goal. No, not with the own goal. Where basically I came out to do the sweeper keeper thing, hacked at yours and the player's legs.
Took me out. It took me out.
But yeah, so that brought back a terrible flashback. But yeah,
it's a good idea. But like, apparently Neymar said to, I think it was to David Luiz, like, I can't feel my legs. And when you get a back injury, apparently even if you get dropped on your head and you injure your neck, it's a case of obviously the shock is absorbed by your spine. So a lot of times it is said that if you can't feel your legs or your legs go numb, there's potential paralysis. So like when that happened to me earlier in the season, I was frantically trying to move my legs.
Yeah.
Just to make sure that I hadn't done something serious.
Yeah.
But I think Neymar probably had the same thing when he's going it didn't look that bad a challenge at first, but then the more you see it, the worse it looks in my view, because it looked innocuous at first. It was like, I can't get up, but then it's a case of saw it again. It's like, oh my god, dude got Harley raced in the back.
Yeah, but I don't think it was. I don't think it was malicious.
It didn't look malicious, but it was on them.
To be honest, Neymar was looking for the foul, and the way he arched his back and bent down, and the guy's flying in the air with his knee sort of out, and he's a big guy, that Zuniga, whatever his name is.
Oh, Zuniga.
Yeah. What did you say? What?
Not this again. We did this last year. Was it Zuniga? We coming for Zuniga.
What you?
Oh, it balls of steel.
What you say?
Did you say Zuniga?
Oh, niggas live in zoos. But apologies about the language, people. Apologies. We are referring to Zuniga, who plays for
for Colombia.
Colombia.
That name, it's like Montenegro. It's just like Monte's Negro. It's just very, very risque. Risque.
No, but you know what? I do want to touch back onto the match. I do want to touch on the whole offside thing. I think Colombia were robbed. I legitimately think they were robbed. That's one of, to be honest, for me, that is one of the worst decisions in the World Cup so far. And the other worst decision was in the first match for Brazil when they won. Well,
Croatia, the penalty.
No.
I thought you were saying Croatia, the penalty.
No. It wasn't the Brazil match. But anyway.
There's been a few bad decisions.
There's been a few bad decisions, but it wasn't the Brazil match. But what I am going to say is, like, please explain to me, how was that offside? And the fact of the matter is, the ball came off Luiz. So please explain to me, how was that offside?
It wasn't. I can't explain it to you because, like I said on the night, it wasn't. The legit goal this and that. It's like, oh. So
I'm speechless about that whole decision, because at the time of watching it, you know, obviously there was a lot of indecision. You know, you had the Brazilian fans behind us chatting their rubbish as if, you know, oh, it wasn't offside, it was offside, Brazil. But it's like decisions like that that make you sour about, like, you know, teams who legitimately play well.
Well, it did make actually,
no, that wasn't a decision. Yeah. But you know, they legitimately played well, and they done well to get themselves back into the game, and you know, they were actually applying pressure to Brazil, and then all of a sudden, like, you know, a legitimate goal goes in, and then it's not given.
There's a conspiracy theory which we're gonna keep to ourselves for now. There's a conspiracy theory that kind of that me, you, and Ham were talking about, and we're gonna keep that under wraps because we've got summer special feature segments coming up in the next few weeks. So it's one that. But you know what? Let's shift on. Actually, Mike Harneman actually had a couple of views about Brazil v Colombia. How about it, man?
Yeah, right. Before I get into my views, I want to give a shout out to Tara, who's actually watching and listening on YouTube. So, hello.
G-Man,
yeah, my
give her a
views-
wave. G-Man, give Tara a wave. G-Man, give Tara a wave. G-Man, give Tara a wave.
There you go. You've just made her week now.
Yeah.
Wait, Tara, this is me doing a selfie for you.
He's doing a he's actually doing a selfie.
Wait. And if you're on Snapchat, add me, Tara. If you're on Snapchat, add me.
I was gonna say, you gonna give out your Snapchat name or? I don't know what your Snapchat name. I'm not on Snapchat, so I don't know how
My
you add me.
Snapchat's easy. Who am I? I'm at the Gman84. It's just as simple as that, you know. Oh no, sorry. My Snapchat's Ghostman84.
It's so easy, you botched it. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
We might have to bring Brian Alvarez back out for that.
But yeah.
Right, so is it alright to get into my views now?
Yeah. Sorry about that, Mike.
No worries, man. Right, basically, I thought the game was a really good game. I thought Colombia really did actually give Brazil a really good test. I was surprised at how well Colombia played and how much of a game they actually did give Brazil as well. And I think, like G-Man said, and like you said as well, Liam, the goal was never offside. That wasn't actually you on the status I was referring to. It was actually Mr. Nathan Arsenal when he was saying that the goal was definitely offside. And
I was gonna say, I try and always remember what I say because I'm
but he was saying
I'm
the goal was
articulating
definitely
my
offside,
opinion.
and I kind of was saying no chance. I think the G-Man jumped in as well and was like, "Oh, I'm going to back you up here, Mike." You know.
And it's not often that, even though there's the Gooner thing there, it's not often you two back each other up. It's surprising. Doesn't make Gooners exactly look good, does it?
You make me sound bad like I don't back no one up.
Kobo Rado.
I got your back, man. I got your back.
I told her that ain't my opinion.
But yeah, just finally, I actually think Brazil are going to struggle in the semis as well without Neymar. Look at their front line. Who have they got? Fred hasn't done a lot. Hulk hasn't done a lot, and Joe is not to be scared of, really. So I think Germany are going to fancy themselves in the semis, and if they get through to the final, I might even have a sneaky couple of quid on them to get all the way and win it.
I agree with Mike on that one. Because Brazil's team is getting semi-depleted. Like, Williams also picked up an injury. I don't know if he's going to be out for the next match, but
He probably just takes ages to comb his hair and
he
misses
picked up an
games
injury
because
as well. And and they ain't going to be with Thiago Silva as well. You noticed that during the Colombia match. You pointed that out.
Because he's actually suspended for the next game. So without Thiago Silva at the back, well, you got David Luiz, who plays a lot better in a Brazil shirt, I must admit. And I've said on a couple of occasions that basically he seems a lot more comfortable around his Brazilian teammates, around his compatriots, his countrymen. I think it's a case of everyone's really on the same wavelength. But Ross Vernon, you wanted to jump in on that Brazil-Colombia match before we move on.
Yes. While I was watching that game on Friday evening, me and Mike was on Skype having a chat regarding the game and everything. See how we thought we do. And I said to Mike, the first half of the Colombia was offside. For me, when the ball was played, the Colombians were in an offside position, and offside was when the ball is played normally. But the officials don't know the offside rules, so that's a dig at the officials there. But going back to the actual game, I thought Brazil played well, and I saw a tweet earlier today regarding the Brazil lineup for tomorrow, and Brazil are set to make 3 changes because the right back, Maicon, is set to be replaced by David Luiz. Thiago Silva is expected to be replaced by Dante as centre-half, and it's not Joe who's set to start up front with Oak and Fred. It is Chelsea's Oscar who is set to start in attack for Brazil against Germany. And if those 3 changes are correct, I can see Oscar helping Brazil get into the final, and I'm hoping they do anyway, because I've had going on the sweepstake. I'll let you know later on our sweepstakes going on, guys, for the pitch talk one. I'll have to get up and find out those in a few moments, but I'll let you know that. But one of my mum's friends, they've done a sweepstake for the last 16. My team is Brazil in that, and should they go all the way to the final, because it's winner takes all now, and then end up winning, I'll be getting £6, because me and mum and dad are standing in because they've had a go as well. My mum will be getting £5, and my dad will be getting £5 as well. So I'm hoping Brazil can beat Germany tomorrow, and then go on to beat either Netherlands or Argentina in the final as well on Sunday, and then I can win £6 because my mum's friend, she had Chile, and when Brazil beat Chile, I text her, show me the money, and she called me a lucky bugger.
Ah!
Brazil was going to go all the way now, and my dad and my mum's cheering on Brazil now, because my mum had Colombia, who Brazil knocked out, and my dad had France as well. So hopefully Brazil can go all the way now, and we can win some money into the family from me. So hopefully Brazil can win, and hopefully if that's a 3 tomorrow. I think the pre-season result tonight is Commonwealth Town 0, Cardiff City 3. Nicky Maynard, Joe Mason, a new signing for Cardiff. Federico Makeda scores on his debut for Cardiff this evening.
Thanks for that update, Russ. And I'm going to come back to that. I'm going to come back to that Brazil thing for a second. David Luiz, obviously a speculation in terms of the Brazil lineups tomorrow. Yeah. But when Russ mentioned David Luiz at right back, me and you both were like, yeah, what's that? That change doesn't even make sense. Yeah. You know what them was? You got Thiago Silva missing, so it's about who's going to partner David Luiz. So why would you shift Luiz to right back when you've got Dani Alves? So you put Dani Alves at right back and keep Luiz at centre back and put Dante alongside him.
Yeah, no, true. Well, maybe
that's why I don't like speculation and rumours, because a lot of it doesn't even make sense. A lot of it doesn't even make sense. That's just my take. That's just my take on it. But it's one of them. It's an interesting one. But you know what? Let's get on to the other two quarterfinals. Argentina 1, Belgium 0. Gonzalo Higuain with the only goal of the game on 8 minutes. On 8 minutes. And you know what? Yeah. Argentina haven't been brilliant, but they haven't needed to be. And at least in this match, they didn't rely on Messi for the goal. Mm-hmm. Same with on Tuesday as it happens, but even though Messi was involved in the build-up. But it's a case of, like, Belgium had chances. They had chances and really should have buried them. But from what I saw of the highlights, it was all Belgium. It was all Belgium. So it's like you look at it, it's one of them ones. I mean, Argentina rode their luck against Switzerland, with Switzerland hitting the post late on. And I think it was late on in extra time, like one of the last kicks of the game. And it's like Belgium are not happy at going out, and of course Mark Wilmots is not going to be happy. He's been complaining, shooting his mouth off and all that. But the fact of the matter is, like I said earlier, like Messi's record against Thibaut Courtois is not good. It's just not good, and it came home to roost again. But Argentina, without being that good, have gone through. Now, speaking of being good, Costa Rica 0, Holland 0. And Holland ended up winning 4-3 on penalties, but there's a lot more to be said about this. There was actually a clearance off the line late on in that game as well, which was that I had to credit that defending. When I saw it, I was with a couple of my Sainsbury's colleagues, and I was like, you know what? That, as a defender myself, as part of the defenders union, that was fantastic, because to make that clearance, you have to be on the line, and to be on the line at that point, you have to have anticipated the danger. And boy, that clearance was one of them ones. either team actually could have took it. That Holland Costa Rica game, either team could have took it. There was one cross that was flashed across the middle, and it was like, oh my god,
Van Persie.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, how has everybody missed it? I think Dirk Kuyt was nearest to it. It was like, oh my god. And then there was the other chance with Van Persie where, like, I don't know how he botched it with his right foot, because he's usually pretty damn good.
Oh, where he hit it straight at Navas. Navas tipped it onto the bar, or tipped it onto his own player to Hader.
Yeah, and it was one of them ones. It was like, oh, dude, how have you just missed that? It was mad.
And then you had the one with Costa Rica, Omana, who should have scored.
Yeah.
I don't know why they took Joel Campbell off. That was to me. They said he looked lethargic. He had tired legs. But they brought in this guy called Omana, who, to be honest, he didn't even look like he was in the same sort of class as the rest of the team. But that's just my personal opinion. Might be biased. The Arsenal connection.
Yeah, I was gonna say Joel Campbell.
But no, I'm with you in that. That was a great match. I gotta say, Holland were the better team throughout in the 90 minutes. Costa Rica, they were like a shadow of themselves, like from what they were doing. But during the group stages, but in terms of what they were doing in the group stages, they had nothing to prove.
It's a case of you didn't want to peak too early, but
precisely.
At least Holland ended up getting through.
This round, they actually know who, this is knockout stages, so they're gonna have to defend a bit more.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the penalties thing was actually quite interesting with switching Tim Krul in. Basically, Louis van Gaal is not a genius for doing it.
I disagree.
I said to you earlier, Louis van Gaal is not a genius for doing that. And again, I said to my Sainsbury's colleagues on Saturday, you know what? It makes sense as a substitution. He still had one left, so Van Gaal was well within his rights to do it.
Yeah.
But for me, the fact of the matter is, okay, you've got a penalty shootout. This is pressure. This is the World Cup quarterfinals. This is pressure. Your team could go out. So for me, basically, Tim Krul is a skinny version of Manuel Neuer in terms of size. So you think to yourself, the bigger the goalkeeper, that's why there ain't that many small goalkeepers. So you look at someone like Tim Krul, big goalkeeper, big presence. Even though he's quite slim, the wingspan on him is huge. So it's one of them. Even though he had only saved 2 out of 20 for Newcastle or something silly like that. Even though he had quite a poor penalty record, with this kind of pressure situation, a player, imagine it's a psych out. For me, it's pretty much a psych out, because at the end of the day, if you look at like, you're going up to take a penalty from 12 yards, you're looking at the goal, you're thinking, where am I going to put it, unless you planned it already, and you see that big a figure. Let me put it to you this way: the smaller a target is, the more difficult it is to hit that target. And I think Van Gaal, it's not genius, it's just common sense. It's laws of physics, laws of geometry, whereby it's like, the bigger the obstacle, the more difficult it is to get past.
I gotta say,
that's the way I see it.
I gotta say, I didn't like that change at all. I thought, to be honest, I just thought it was very disrespectful. Chilison. I thought it was very disrespectful to him in terms of he was probably briefed beforehand. I personally, I don't care if he was briefed or not. It's one of those things. Yeah, he's been a good goalkeeper over the course of the tournament. He had a tremendous game in that game, and to be subbed off, in the last minutes of extra time, where really and truthfully, I can understand what you're saying.
It's a gamble that paid off.
It's a gamble. I can understand what you're saying. It's common sense. You bring on the bigger guy to fit out the room, to fill out the room of the goal, the goal area, to put the players off, definitely. And plus, Tim Krul's probably showed that attitude and aggression in training, so they all know what he's like when it comes to that scenario. Yeah. But in my eyes, it's like, it's the goalkeeper's moment. Yeah. This is when goalkeepers make their names. Like, it's moments like that. You get me? And to me, you've just made your first-hand goalkeeper look like a secondary-hand goalkeeper in the flash of an eye in front of everyone in the world stage. You just made him look like a bum.
I wouldn't say so. I wouldn't say
That's how I...
Of course, it's your opinion.
No,
you're entitled to
but
it.
that's how it looked to me, because it's like, if it was me, I would have felt cheated. You know,
But there
no matter
have been
what
certain keepers in the past who have been bought based on penalty-saving exploits. Pegai Arfexad for Liverpool was bought apparently based on penalty-saving exploits.
he came on in the last minutes of... You know what? It was like an American football move. That's what it reminded me of. If it was American football, I can understand that. That would be tactical. You could imagine Americans going... The Americans were going crazy when they watched that move. They were like, oh my God! Oh my God!
He's making a power play! Oh, wait, that's hockey. No, that's hockey. Same.
But you get what I'm saying? They would have been, oh my God, they should have more of this in England. They should have more of this in the EPL, the Premier League. Soccer needs more of these kind of moves.
Them misdirection plays right there.
Well, you know what? We should ask Big Shot Ron what his reaction was to it. It would have been nice. But no.
Because a lot of people, as I said, were surprised by a goalie switch, and I wasn't that surprised. I was thinking, you know what? It's a smart move.
For me, the word was just disrespectful. I've got to agree with Cannavaro, who said that in the Daily Mail today. I think it was disrespectful.
No, I hear that. I mean, Tom Wood, you wanted to jump in on this, yeah?
Yeah, I remember when Southend did it, like in a cup game. Like it was like the last few minutes of like before of them.
Wait, Tom, you might want to repeat that again. You're breaking up quite a bit. You might want to repeat that. You're breaking up a bit. All right, we'll have to come back to Tom because I think yeah, we could barely hear him, so we'll have to come back to Tom. Mike, Tom, drop us it in the Skype chat. Yeah. Mike Harneman, you wanted to jump in on this?
Yeah, I think I'm not sure if it was the right decision or I thought it was a very, very strange decision. Seeing how well Cillessen played throughout the competition and just that game as well, I think it was only right to give him the penalties as well, just to see what he can do. Maybe they've seen different in training. Maybe they've noticed with Tim Krul, like he was doing to the Costa Rican players, the way he was going up to every single one of them, running around his box, you know, going right up to the ball, right up to them, saying something to them.
That's exactly what the G-Man was bringing up earlier today when we were talking about it.
Trying to put them off and playing mind games with them. And it worked. It worked absolute wonders for them.
Yeah, of course. It was a gamble that paid off. Like I said to you earlier, Gav, it was a gamble that paid off.
Yeah, no, I do understand, but I don't know, man. It doesn't fit well with me. Man. I just thought he took away the moment of Cillessen.
All right, so what about cup goalkeepers then? Goalkeepers that only play in the cup games. What do you think about that then? Because obviously your league goalkeeper is your number one.
Yeah. And
the cup keeper is generally your second string.
Well, for me personally, I think cup goalkeepers, there's nothing wrong with it because you're dedicating a particular goalkeeper to say, look, you're not going to play much in the league, but the cup's yours. Fabianski, it worked well for him. Yeah. He won a cup with it. Pascal Pantilimon.
Oh yeah, Costel Pantilimon.
Yeah. Now him on the other hand, look what happened to him. He got shafted.
Yeah.
He got shafted.
Yeah. But then you've got no problem with a cup goalkeeper, but when a keeper gets switched for a penalty shootout, you've got a big problem with that.
The fact of the matter is, because
obviously they will have went over that before.
For
me, it goes to penalties, we're gonna switch you out for him.
I'd say it's his tactics and
he's bigger.
Yeah, I'll say it's his tactics and that's what he wants to do. But personally, it wasn't like he came on for extra time. If Tim Krul had come on in extra time, they swapped him over and brought him on for extra time, then maybe it would have been a bit different to me. I would have been like, that's a bit of a baffling substitution. But then he would have played 30 minutes of the game. That vibe would have gone away. But it's like literally, man's played 90 minutes, then he's played an extra 30 minutes. He's literally put the work in, and then he's going to be told, you know what? This ain't gonna be your glory moment. This is gonna be his.
All right. I'll throw this out to you. What if Cillessen had? This is just purely hypothetical. What if he had signaled to the bench that he was knackered, but we didn't see it on TV?
Well, if that
What would you have to say there?
well, if that was the case, then got to go with the decision.
It's just purely hypothetical.
No, if that's the
just
case,
saying.
if that's the case, it's got the decision. Also, if it's the case of he's actually said beforehand, if he comes out and says, look, you know what, I've always said I don't want to be in penalty shootouts, then you know what, that's his decision. But I'm just saying,
Because I was going to say, more likely than not, a decision like that, you don't just do it spur of the moment.
Yeah.
That will have been spoken about pre-match, pre-tournament even.
yeah, but I don't know, because there has been a lot of players saying about Van Gaal, he does his own thing, and you know, he's an authoritarian.
Shouldn't a manager do his own
No,
thing?
he should do his own thing. That's why he's.
I mean, it's like what it's like in Breaking Kayfabe with Troy Martin, aka Shane Douglas. Big shout out to Kayfabe commentaries, by the way. I'm watching that over the weekend. It's a case of like, oh, do you always give the fans what they want in terms of your decisions if you're at the top? No. You don't always, because at the end of the day, the fans are not always going to steer you in the right direction. They're just going to go for who they like or who they want on top. That's in terms of wrestling. But in terms of this, with Van Gaal being a manager, he's at the top of the tree. He's not always going to do what the fans want him to do.
Yeah.
But he's going to do what he needs to do to get the best out of the team. And I said it was a gamble that paid off.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
That's where I'm coming. That's where I'm coming from. I mean, Tom Wood has said in the Skype chat. Basically, I remember when Southend subbed their first choice keeper Paul Smith for our second choice keeper Dan Bentley against Oxford United in the John Stones Paint Trophy quarterfinals last year. And our first choice keeper stormed out down the tunnel when he was subbed off, and went on and won in penalties after a 2-2 draw in normal time. Ever since, Dan Bentley has been first choice keeper under manager Phil Brown from last season. Paul Starrick, ex-Southend manager, said today, "It makes sense to change keepers for a penalty shootout. I don't see why it gets such a big reaction." So there's that. Also, Mike Hardiman has said it's good for Krul because if he doesn't play another part of the tournament now, he can still say he's had an influence. So it's an interesting one. Switching keepers for a penalty shootout. Do people agree with it? Do people not agree with it? Remember, Facebook.com/Pitch Talk and @Pitch Talk on Twitter as well. Also, 07535804466 is the mobile number. The mobile's on. It's charged. It's all good. Waiting for your call. Waiting for your text. All good. But I mean, it's one of them. Let's get. You know what? Yeah. Let's have a bit of fun. Let's go on to some predictions. Because Tuesday, 8th of July, 2014, we've got Brazil, Germany in the first semi-final, and then Wednesday, July 9th, we've got Holland v Argentina.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last July 9th that really sticks in my memory, there was July 9th, 2000, Bash at the Beach, cheap OWR right there, in WCW. But who do you think will win in Brazil v Germany and Holland v Argentina, and who do you think will win the final? Put you on the spot here.
Brazil v Germany. I personally think it's either going to be a 1-0 victory. And you know what? I actually think the host might go out. I think the host might go out in that game. The reason I say that is because you know, they lost their talisman Neymar, who has in front of goal. You know, he has been troublesome. Mm-hmm. And not just that, he's a magnet. He literally is. When you watch him, he's a magnet for attracting those 2 or 3 players that track him down and leave space for other players.
Yeah.
And then, you know, it has been working in Brazil's favor.
Yeah.
But and also not having Thiago Silva that rock at the back.
It's gonna be huge. Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a huge miss. So I think I think you know, either Muller or Klose is gonna get the goal.
Yeah. No, I heard that.
But I think it's going to be tight, but I think Germany are going to nab it.
Yeah. You know what? We actually do have a caller on the line. Caller, you are through to your Monday Night Football and Fixed Pitch Talk. Who are we having the pleasure of conversing with right now?
It's Jose Mourinho. I listen to Pitch Talk. It's important I have a moment about the game, and I want to talk about the World Cup and.
Has this turned into Yahoo Eurosport all of a sudden?
Well, I believe that. Yes, it's important we do it, and I sound a bit like Arsene Wenger there.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I was just about to say he degenerated into Wenger. It's like Nathan, what is up?
Not bad. Just been listening in. I thought as Liam put the phone in, I said this would be the time for me to call in. You know.
Yeah.
Better, man.
Yeah, I want to ask you. Brazil v Germany and Holland v Argentina. Who do you think is going to win each match, and who do you think will win the final?
Up to date, I haven't made any predictions. I've just watched it. I mean,
we're putting you on the spot now, though.
But I'd like to see an all-South American final. I'd like to see Argentina and Brazil go together. I just got a feeling that it'll be Germany, Argentina in the final. Well, possibly. But as long as both games are exciting, that'd be the most important thing. I think the group stages was very open and attacking, but since the group stages, it's been a lot of games have gone into extra time, and there's a lot of stalemates. And I'm just hoping that
he's hoping for something, folks. He's hoping for something.
Yeah, I want both of the 4 remaining teams. I want them just to go at it. You know, nice attacking. You know, to end this World Cup nicely, rather than just too cautious. I mean, I thought Germany were quite cautious the other day against the French. The French were rubbish. And I thought Holland looked good, but it'd be interesting to see how they play against the Argentines. The Argentines haven't played a big nation yet. I mean, they were okay in the last game, but it'd be interesting to see how they sort of go, how they deal with Robben and that. I mean, it's intriguing to see. I can't wait for the next couple of games.
I mean, the thing is, it'd be who do you think is going to win the tournament?
Well, I quietly said that I said a South American team, and then I was pushed to say Argentina, and I'm not going to change my mind, but I'm not going to go outright and make a straight prediction. But if out of the 4 teams, I'd like Argentina to win it. Yeah. I don't know why. I'd like Holland. I mean, I like Holland. I've always liked Holland. Their history, the Bergkamp, Kluivert, Seedorf, the Boers, and they've had some top players over the years. But I would like to see Argentina. It's good. It'd be good for Lionel Messi to finally, add back to his locker, because he gets so much stick that he never does at international level. It'd be nice if he sort of signed off this World Cup and was able to do it.
No, I hear that. I mean, it's one of them ones where it's an interesting one, because Brazil Germany. You just can't rule out that home advantage, in my view. You just really can't rule out that home advantage.
It's going to be the thing for the Germans. When I think of it, I mean, obviously you have the excitement, the crowd. I think the key for the Germans is that they've always been very resilient defensively. They've got this way, and what they did in the last game is that they actually played 4-2-3-1. They had Schweinsteiger and Khedira front and back 4, and they were quite sloppy. What might work against Germany? What I think the best Brazil's tactic, they're going to need to use pace.
Yeah,
because that's Germany's weakness. They're slow out the back. So
especially if Mertesacker gets restored to that centre back position, because at the end of the day, he looks like he's running in treacle. But I mean, I can see Germany taking it just purely on the basis that no Neymar. That's a huge blow. That is a massive blow. That is the poster boy of Brazilian football. And then you've got Thiago Silva, who's their best centre back. So to basically take your best attacker, basically taking out your best attacker and your best defender, I think Germany will do it, especially if they go 1-0 up and can silence the crowd, take the crowd out of it. That's going to be crucial.
They'll just frustrate. They'll do what the Italians do. They'll just sit there and say, "Come break us down."
Yeah.
That's what they'll do. I think the key for the Brazil is to score first and get Germany to open up a bit. I think with Germany as well, when I look at them, they're a very, as I said, they're a resilient side, but they're a team that lack a lot of pace as well. They're not the quickest of teams. They've got a lot of inventive players. I like Muller. I like obviously Özil, and we haven't seen a lot of Draxler.
I think Özil needs to get dropped. To be honest, he's wasted wide.
Yeah, he's been a bit lazy.
He's wasted wide.
Left. I don't think that he's not. His best position is always behind the front man. I don't know why they're playing him out on the left.
I think it's one of them ones just trying to accommodate him and keep him in the team. But I think he needs to get dropped, to be perfectly frank.
Yeah, he hasn't played well the last couple of. Well, he hasn't played well full stop. I think he just needs to summer off. He needs about a month to chill.
No, I hear that. I mean, I think it's one of them ones. I think Germany are going to take it against Brazil. You take with Neymar being injured, that's their best attacking player out, and with Thiago Silva being suspended, that's their best defensive player out. Holland v Argentina is going to be very that is going to be tight, but I can see Holland taking it just purely on the basis that Argentina haven't been brilliant. They haven't needed to be thus far, but Holland have been better than Argentina overall. But the fact of the matter is, it's like, how are they going to deal with the pace of guys like Robin and the out-and-out finishing prowess of Van Persie? Even though Argentina have got their own attacking prowess in themselves, Di Maria apparently is out, so that's gonna be crucial. Aguero has blown hot and cold. Higuain hasn't necessarily really got started, and Messi's been bailing him out most of the time. So that's going to be an attacking game because neither defense is brilliant. So that's going to be quite an attacking game. So I'd see Holland taking.
The last time those two played, Dennis Bergkamp scored a worldie.
That was brilliant. That was absolutely fantastic. And it's one of those
years ago, man. I still remember it like it was yesterday. It was a brilliant goal.
I mean, it's one of them ones. It's going to be a very interesting final. And in terms of the final, if Germany get past Brazil, I think they'll win the final. I think they'll win.
Yeah, I think so as well. Yeah.
I would
say if Germany played Argentina, I would back Germany to beat them. I just think Germany would have enough to start for them, and I would believe if Germany win their game, they'd win it as well, definitely.
Yeah, I'd see Germany. I'd see Germany beating Holland as well. If Holland get through, I can see Germany beating them, because at the end of the day, you look at Holland v Chile, where Chile, for large parts, actually did pretty well, but it was a case of eventually they got broken down. But it's one of them it was far from convincing. So it's going to be very interesting. I mean, you know what? Let's throw out to the Skypers quickly as well. Nathan, you staying on with us, yeah?
Yes.
Good stuff. But Russ Vernon, you want to go first quickly before we move on, and then Mike, and then Tom if he wants to as well.
Yes, for me, I reckon it's going to be Brazil versus Holland in the final. So Brazil to win and Holland to win, and then Brazil to win it overall. And going back to when you mentioned about goalkeepers being changed, a friend of mine, Andrew Dalton, put back. It happened in the playoff final between Leicester and Crystal Palace in 1996. Carrick came on for Poole for penalties, but Leicester won it in extra time. In that game, we made a switch for penalty shootout Leicester, but Leicter ended up winning it in extra time. So just found a bit of information out there regarding when the keeper changes.
I hope whoever put that information up is actually tuned in. But it's a case of Brazil, Germany. Who do you think is going to take that? Holland, Argentina. Who do you think is going to take that? And who's going to win the final? Russ?
For me, I reckon Holland, Argentina. Yes, Liam?
Yeah. Brazil, Germany. Who's going to take that? Holland, Argentina. Who's going to take that? And then who's going to win the final?
I think Brazil will win it against Germany, and I reckon it'll go to penalties. And Brazil will win it on penalties.
Mm-hmm.
And Holland will win it.
I think Russ should work for BBC with all these stats.
And Brazil will win it in extra time. I mean, Holland will beat Argentina in extra time, and then Brazil will win it and then Brazil will win the final in extra time. And regarding the sweepstake, the Big T, he's left in with Germany. This is for the Pitch Talk sweepstake. Mike is left in with Holland. Tom is left in with Brazil, and I'm left in with Argentina. So it's all to play for between us lot. one of us is going to win it, and I'll let them winning they're going to win when I've decided a prize for the winner. So Nathan, you've been knocked out because you had Spain in a jury, my friend. Sorry about that.
You know what? Also want to ask. Same question to Tom Wood. Brazil, Germany. Who do you think will take it? Holland v Argentina. Who do you think will take it? And who's going to win the final?
Holland will just sneakily go through, and Argentina will probably go out.
Oh, I hear that. And then who's going to win the final?
Holland, or as I can call them, Man United.
I love it. Mike Hardiman, who are you going for? Brazil, Germany. Who's going to win that? Holland, Argentina. Who's going to win that? Then who's going to win the final?
Right, for me, I'm going to go Brazil, Germany. I'm going to go for Germany to win that one. I think they're legit 1-0 in extra time. And I think Holland and Argentina, be another close game again. But I think Argentina will take it 2-1. And I think Germany will win the final. And that'll be a 2-0 win for Germany in the final, I think.
I hear that. Now, that is an interesting one. G-Man, what have we got on the socials?
Well, yeah, I just want to say a big shout out to Missy on Twitter.
What's up, Dave?
Dave, as you said, he's got a new blog.
Thanks for the blogs as well. A great World Cup. Great World Cup is his newest blog.
Well, we've been having a conversation about the World Cup's biggest flops. So we asked, which teams would you consider to be the biggest flops of this Brazilian World Cup 2014?
You know we're going to do that next week. Flops of the tournament, game of the tournament, goal tournament, all that. We're going to do that next week as well. But what's Messi saying so far?
So far, yeah. Messi's basically said England disastrous World Cup.
So England deserve
-5 stars.
Said it's all went wrong with the tactics for the Italian game. Guys should have sat on Pirlo and cut out the threat. And then also he said Italy were poor this World Cup and England's performance was overhyped.
No, I heard that. I heard that. I mean, it's one of that. I mean, have we got any predictions for who's going to win the World Cup? By the way,
predictions. We have got predictions.
They don't put any predictions on, because that's got to be extremely interesting to see. But we can come back. We can come back to that. But it's one of them. Mike Hardiman has said that no, England deserve more than -5 stars. They deserve -50. Cruel.
Wait. We have a prediction here by Graham Beck on Facebook. He said Brazil 2, Germany 2 at extra time. Germany win 4-2 on penalties.
Yeah.
Also, he said Holland to beat Argentina 2-1, and in the final, Holland to beat Germany 2-0.
I hear that.
Personally, I can't see Holland beating Germany if they meet in the final. No. I cannot see Holland beating Germany at all. I just think they got the one man in Arjen Robben, who's gonna be, the road runner. But nullify him. Like, who have they really got?
Yeah, no. Well, it's one of them ones.
Schneider had a great match.
There's Dirk Kuyt as well, who always seems to score a spectacular goal. Never does the simples.
But for me, Robin's all over the place. And again, like Neymar, he's one of them players that he takes 2, 3, 4 men out of positions and opens up positions for everyone else.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. The World Cup is, dig it. It's almost over. But you know what? It's so close. It is untrue. That's pretty funny. That is cruel. You know what? Some people are absolutely hilarious. You gotta share that. You gotta share that on the Pitch Talk wall. Have a look. Just keep an eye on the Pitch Talk wall right now. We're gonna post something for the old school gamers out there. We're talking Super Nintendo flexes. You might want to look at that. But you know what? Before we go into our next segment, a big shout out to InSitu. InSitu.co. Create, engage, inspire. Our official facilities provider is InSitu. At InSitu Digital on Twitter. www.ljproduct.co. UK at LJA Productions on Twitter. The new blood in digital video, our official video production partner and provider. Also official_SXE at official_SXE on Twitter. If you need a party or rave filmed, hit up Simply Exclusive Entertainment and ApparentlyRich.com. Simple yet effective web solutions to get your company off the ground is our web production partner and provider. I just wanted to say that just as that tune came to an end, because it is actually time. It's time. It's time. No, it's the V. It's the V for Vader time. But no, right now, it's pitch talk time. You know what? It is time for us to switch segments. We are moving and grooving on because we got a lot more shows. So it's time for...
Gentlemen,
wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. Wow, wow. What is he laughing at now? G-Man, are you gonna sing along too? Or are you gonna leave me on my Jack Jones? This is Monday night and we are Pitch Talk. Let's go into General Talking Points. So we are going to start actually. You want to carry on as well?
I like
Couple
the way.
rounds of strike one. We're going to start with Hull City sign midfielder Tom Ince on a 2-year contract. This was a surprise. This was a surprise for me. Hull City have continued to strengthen their squad ahead of the new season with the signing of midfielder Tom Ince. The former Blackpool player who spent the first 6 months of the year on loan at Crystal Palace was previously a target of Inter Milan. He now arrives at the KC Stadium as a free agent. And the England under-21 international has signed a 2-year deal with the Tigers. Now, a few more done deals. From the 20th of June 2014, Jolyon Lescott, the driving force behind Manchester City all these years. If you get that one with the dashboard and all that. But anyway, West Bromwich Albion signed England defender Jolyon Lescott after his contract at Premier League champions Man City ended. He arrived at the club as a free agent following 5 years at Man City, where he won 2 league titles in 3 years. Luke Shaw. Man United signed Southampton defender Luke Shaw for £27 million, making him one of the world's most expensive teenagers. The 18-year-old's fee could rise to £31 million dependent on his performance. An initial £27 million offer was actually rejected in May, but the left-back has agreed a 4-year contract with United with an option to extend for a further year. Liverpool, my boys, Liverpool have completed the £25 million transfer of Southampton captain Adam Lallana, now former Southampton captain Adam Lallana. From July 1st, 2014, Lallana, who's 26, is Brendan Rodgers' second signing of the summer, and joins former teammate Ricky Lambert at Anfield on a long-term deal. Chelsea have agreed a transfer on July 1st with Atletico Madrid for Diego Costa. The Stamford Bridge club had wanted the 25-year-old Spain striker to complete a £32 million move prior to the World Cup. And yes, we have heard about Ashley Cole going to Roma, it's actually done. Ashley Cole has actually signed for Roma. He was another free agent as well. Sim de Jong follows Luke to Newcastle. Dutch international midfielder Sim de Jong left Ajax Amsterdam for Newcastle United on Tuesday, agreeing a 6-year contract with the English Premier League team, following his brother there. Ander Herrera joined Man United. The Athletic Bilbao president, though, claimed Herrera deceived the club by telling them he wanted to stay. This from Thursday, 3rd of July 2014. Athletic Bilbao president Josu Urita has claimed new Man United signing Ander Herrera deceived the Basque club before sealing his move to the Barclays Premier League. He's gone to Old Trafford on a £29 million deal. After the English club, Man United paid his buyout clause 9 months after an initial proposal which had fallen through on transfer deadline day. Urita actually said, "For us, Ander Herrera was a player we expected to stay at the club." According to what he said, Ander was delighted to be here and his only aspiration was to stay here. Now that's an interesting one. Speaking of staying, Pepe Reina will spend next season with Liverpool. Following the end of his loan spell with Napoli, the goalkeeper's agent confirmed on July 4th, 2014. The 31-year-old has 2 years remaining on his deal in England, but was loaned out to Serie A for the duration of last season, as Brendan Rodgers made Simon Mignolet the number one stopper at Anfield. Speaking of my boys, Liverpool, it's one of them ones. Hey, the signings keep coming because Emre Can completed his signing on July 4th. Liverpool completed the signing of midfielder Emre Can from Bayer Leverkusen on a long-term contract. We had to wait for the necessary paperwork to get done until basically the transfer window opened officially on July 1st in order to register the necessary paperwork and national clearance on the £10 million move, but that has now been completed. So, it's one of them ones, man. A lot of wheeling and dealing going on. Also, we've nicked a young defender from Tottenham as well, and that man is Kevin Stewart. So it's one of them ones. All right, language there. Remember, family show. We don't allow the swearing. But we'll come back to you, Nath. We'll come back to you in a sec. Remember the ground rules about interrupting. Thank you. But it's one of them was the thing is with these deals, I personally am glad that Liverpool we're getting our business done early and often. I mean, Arsenal have lost Bakary Sagna, but who were you linked to earlier in the day? There was Debussy. So Debussy's apparently taken his medical review lot. So that's an interesting one. Suarez, that deal's not done yet, so that's why we're not reporting on it. Sanchez, again, same deal, not done yet. So it's one of them ones. We don't. You know how we are here. We don't report on stuff until it's done. But the fact of the matter is, just like it's one of them ones. Just like Jovino's hairline and that woman we saw outside Westfield earlier with the hairline. Oh. The hairline that was drawn back from here to China.
Oh no!
But the fact of the matter is that I'm glad we're getting our business done early. Now that we've got the Barca club shop can have numbered shirts all they want. We've seen this before where clubs have jumped the gun. But anyway, it is one of them ones where I said I'm glad we're doing our business early. Herrera and Shaw going to Man United, two smart moves, and I'll tell you why. The fact is, from last season, and even John Sitton mentioned it in Pitch Talk Meets John Sitton, which is on youtube.com/Pitch Talk. He mentioned that defense needs an overhaul. So Van Gaal and Ed Woodward are moving quickly, and they've signed two players to at least try and arrest the decline of last season. Now the Diego Costa to Chelsea thing, I was hoping he wouldn't go, to be honest, because Mourinho doesn't deserve quality players of that caliber with the negative football that he plays. I'll leave that one alone. And also Diego Costa, there's one picture that we mentioned on last week's show. Wait, he can't be Diego Costa can't be 25 when he looks like a 40-year-old Mexican drug cartel lord.
That's
so
deep. You know what reminds me of?
Those memes. These memes are hilarious.
The guy that plays for Lazio.
Yeah. What's it? The 17-year-old Nigerian guy who looks about 50. It's one of them ones. It's yeah. Well, it's one of them ones with Arjen Robben. He's looked about 40 for the past decade. It's actually,
since he's at Chelsea.
It's actually quite a weird one. But Sim de Jong going to Newcastle was a smart move. Why not go where your brother is? And also, an odd little tidbit. Newcastle are now going to have going to be famous once again for having a pair of brothers playing for the club at the same time. It's interesting because you had Sammy and Shola at once as well. So it's quite an interesting one. Adam Lallana, very happy with him, and Emre Can. That's going to be great competition for us at centre midfield. And Emre Can is versatile. He can play at fullback. He could play as a winger. He could play in centre mid, but his best position, from what I know of him, is centre mid. So let him play centre mid. But the fact of the matter is, long term, it's one of them. As Emre Can's like 21. Lallana's like 25, 26. So it's one of them ones. We're getting players young and experienced, and with Lambert experienced as well. It's one of them ones. I like it. I like these signings. Now I'd like to see us maybe go for couple of fullbacks, one fullback each side, just for cover, and maybe another centre back. And boy, I think we might be good. Could do with another marquee striker. But I'm glad we're getting our business done early and often. And the fact of the matter is, there's still so much of the window left. So it's good. I think it's fantastic. So it's one of them ones. Joleon Lescott going to West Brom is hilarious. That is a real fall from grace for Joleon Lescott, because it's like he's going from Premier League winners straight down to West Brom, and it's like okay, that's a bit of a drop, but if you want playing time, you're gonna need to drop sometimes. But Reina spending next season with us, I'm happy with that, because that's quality backup. If anything happens to Mignolet, we've got quality backup who knows the league and is a quality goalkeeper, and his distribution is almost second to none. But G-Man, what you reckon of these transfers?
No, yeah.
And also Bakary Sagna to Man City. What do you reckon to that as well? I want to throw that one too. And Nathan, we're coming to you on these transfers. But what do you reckon of these transfers so far?
No. Once again, with the Bakary Sagna thing, yeah, slightly disheartened with the fact that he's moved to Manchester City. I would have preferred if he had moved overseas, whether like gone to a PSG or Monaco or something like that, being that he's French and that.
Yeah.
But in terms of going to Manchester City, it is a bit of a sour taste to see another Arsenal player depart and basically join the Arsenal Blues up in the north.
Yeah.
But you know what? To his credit, you know, he's given a good 8-year shift, and you know he
left as a free agent.
He's left as a free agent, but what's slightly
he probably did a Lex Luger and just delayed the contract negotiations. What Luger did in '95.
I don't think he delayed. I think actually it's all about money. That's you know, that's my personal opinion. I just think it's down to.
That's kind of where I was going with the Lex Luger comparison.
Arsenal would have thrown the money at him straight away. The money that he wanted, he would have signed the contract. The fact that he knew that, you know what, he ain't going to get the money that he wanted, and he's going to. Manchester City were offering him what, 130,000, something stupid like that.
Between that and 150, depending on what media outlets you believe.
Stupid like that for what? Anyway, but
yeah, go.
Yeah, who's going to? Really and truthfully, again, who's going to turn that down when they are a free agent and the team that you are at, you know, who you apparently do love, but they're not going to even offer you anything in the smidgens of the same sort of pricing.
Yeah.
But
what do you reckon of the Tom Ince one as well? That I want to throw that one in too, because I think Tom Ince not going to Inter Milan, you missed the boat there. But he's so young that it could happen again. So it's one of them ones. But sorry, Tom Ince and the other transfers as well.
See, the Tom Ince one is personally, I don't even think he's that good to go to Inter Milan, to be honest. I know I am an advocate of English players moving abroad and taking up opportunities, but I just think it would have been the same effect of him going to Manchester United or Liverpool, going back to Liverpool, or you know.
Well, we ain't gonna take him back for 10 million if
you know, or going to Manchester City or something. He would have just been sitting in the reserves, if you get me. He wouldn't have been getting the football that he wanted. He's actually going to a team who are going to give him the football that he needs week in, week out. you know, and to make a name for himself.
Yeah.
So I think he's made a happy move. Moving from Crystal, I thought he might have stayed at Crystal Palace.
Yeah, I would have thought so.
You know, I thought.
That's why the move was a surprise. 'cause
Yeah,
that
so
was late.
I didn't really understand that one, but in terms of him moving to Hull, again, yeah, it's just for a wise career move for me personally. The Julian Lescott one, I wanted to laugh at it before you even mentioned it, but you mentioned it already. From Everton to Manchester City to West Brom, says it all.
Mad, isn't it?
It says it all.
I think I was gonna say he's following Victor Anichebe, but Anichebe just went from Everton to West Brom.
That's just crazy. Luke Shaw's the one I want to dig my heels into because
Yeah,
Luke
sure.
Shaw.
I think that's
United,
way over the odds.
27 million. Yeah, I had this debate with my
18
dad.
years old, man.
Yeah, my dad's just saying, look, Rooney, Ferdinand, arguably Nani, Ronaldo, all bought for heavy prices, you know, and apart from bar Nani, most of them have put their weight in and, you know, performed.
All I can say is
when it comes to Manchester United pulling out potential and putting their money down for potential usually gives back. But in terms of Luke Shaw, I just don't know. They bought Butner.
Oh yeah, Alex Butler.
What did he
who
do?
actually they've already sold.
They bought, wasn't it Hines?
What, Gabriel Ense?
Yeah.
Oh, that was years ago.
But they bought him.
Yeah.
Potential. What happened to him? He got moved.
Well, he wasn't too. Gabriel Ense wasn't
for
too.
Man United. Yeah, but they moved him out.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. It's like that much for a defender.
Yeah, I mean, well, not even that much for a defender. It's just a case of
what, 27 million for a defender. That's what 80. What? How old is he?
Yeah, he's 18, and he's had one season in the Premier League. That much. Similar could be said for Adam Lallana, but the fact is he's 26, so there's a bit more experience there. But United paying that much for Luke Shaw.
You know, got to put it down to Southampton. They've made their money.
Oh yeah, definitely. Oh my
time.
word, in spades. I saw someone actually put on Twitter last week. It's like, I think it was either to do with the Lallana deal or the Shaw deal. It was like, wow, you paid that much for one of them guys. I think it might be Shaw. You paid that much for Luke Shaw, mate. A couple of years ago, you could have had Southampton's whole academy for that.
But moving on to
you might have got Chimpy Boy out of it.
the Lallana one. I gotta say it's a swift buy by Liverpool. But again, when I look at the Liverpool team, do you really need Lallana?
Well, like I've said before, long term we need to think about replacing Steven Gerrard, and it's not going to be one player to replace Stevie G. It's going to be at least a couple.
Yeah, but
and also in terms of attacking options, it's actually good to have a plan B.
No, it is, and
especially with Suarez going, which the writing's on the wall in that one. It's just about how much the buck-toothed one's going for. I've seen 60 million, I've seen 70, I've seen 75. So it all depends on who you believe. But
in my eyes, it's like you've got Coutinho, yeah. You've got Joe Allen, yeah. Obviously, you've got Henderson, and it's like if you're saying you're going to replace Steven Gerrard, yeah, shouldn't you be replacing Steven Gerrard for a like-to-like player? Like, shouldn't you
not really, because it's evolution.
Shouldn't you be looking at like a Paulinho or a Fernandinho?
The black Gareth Barry.
Those type of players
AKA
in terms of like big physical strength. Like
not necessarily
to protect the likes of the Coutinhos, the Allens, you know, and the Hendersons, who are like smaller frame.
Yeah, but but that's part of the reason why we've got guys like Emre Can. That's part of the reason.
Yeah.
So it's one of them ones. I'm just looking at it as what one can't do and shouldn't be expected to do in terms of replacing Gerrard.
Yeah.
Many can.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong. Lallana's a great buy. He's gonna be, you know what, him, Coutinho, and I keep using Coutinho's name, but Coutinho was one of my favorite players last season. To be honest, the link-up play that he created in that between the Liverpool strike force and the midfield was great when he was playing. And you know, it's mouth-watering to see him and Lallana playing together because, like, Lallana and, you know, Rodriguez playing together. That was awesome watching them in Southampton. So, like for like, it's a similar sort of situation in those two players.
Yeah, no, I hear that.
I mean, the Costa to Chelsea, I'm still not sold.
The Costa one is one. Then they'll finally have
still
that.
not sold.
Potentially they're finally gonna have that killer striker because you had the £50 million J Bro, you had Eto'o, you had Barr, and well, their best striker, Chelsea's best striker, has been out on loan for 2
I'm still not sold on Chelsea with that. All this talk of they've had killer strikers in the past, and none of them have performed. They've had killer strikers, Shevchenko. They've had killer. Oh wait. If you're going to talk about any...
It's one of them was when he moved, it was a case of...
No, but when you look at Shevchenko, when you look at a person who was at the top of their game...
Yeah.
Or, you know, was just
and bought for 30 million as well, which is near enough.
What happened to the guy, man? The guy was on Ronaldo's level. Ronaldo, the R9.
But it was a different side. With Chelsea, they were very much playing the physical game, and that suited Drogba down to a T. But it's not going to suit someone like Shevchenko, who's not that kind of striker. That's the way I would see it. So Chelsea botched with that one.
I don't know.
I'm not giving them an excuse. I'm just saying they botched.
Strikers in general, Chelsea just seem to I don't know.
Well, it's a striker's graveyard.
Yeah.
Chelsea messed up Crespo, they've messed up Shevchenko, they messed up Casiraghi.
Oh my God! Well, Pierluigi Casiraghi, that was an unfortunate one. Him and Luke Nillis, those were two unfortunate. Those were two. No, but I'm saying in terms of those were two unfortunate ones.
Yeah.
Luke, both careers ended by broken legs.
Injury.
So.
Wait, but even just take it to the future stars. Look.
Well, what about Chris Sutton? I'll throw Chris Sutton in.
Wait. Take it to the future stars. Moses, yeah.
Yeah.
Look at Lukaku, yeah. Look at
I don't think I'd put Moses in that bracket.
No.
Sturridge and Lukaku,
You know why
yes.
I will put Moses in
but
that?
Moses had one good game for Liverpool against Swansea, and that was it.
All right, he had a poor spot at Liverpool, but I'm talking about the season that he was having last season. Yeah. Chelsea had played him more, and got him into the frame of thing. He would have got into a run of form. He had good form with Nigeria in the African Nations Cup. You know, for someone that wasn't even playing that much for Chelsea. You know, and it's like the youngsters. Like in those three, Chelsea almost killed their careers.
So are you saying, and it's another OWR coming up. But so are you saying that Chelsea? We may as well rename Chelsea Mike Awesome, circa April 2000. What's it? The career killer.
I don't know. Midfielders, they don't do too bad with the midfielders. Midfielders, they churn out some good midfielders.
Well, Josh McEachran. I'd like to throw that.
Well, the midfielders that they buy, they do good with them. That's what I see.
Okay, I'm glad you said the midfielders they buy, rather than the ones they develop.
They do good with them, but I don't know. The Costa, I think could be a lot of pressure for him, especially if they're gonna look for him to play a lone striker.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, of course.
What's going to happen to Torres? What's going to happen to Barr, as you said?
Torres is probably getting shipped on the Ghost train back to Atletico. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, what I would say is,
go on, Dave,
Chelsea, they've got the midfielders to support Costa. They've got Fabregas, Oscar, Willian, Hazard. I see Costa scoring goals, but the problem, the way Mourinho plays is he always likes to store a Drogba type striker who holds it up and brings those midfielders into play. So he's got to decide how he wants to play. And in the big games, what does he do? Does he play Costa? Does he go for ball? What does he do? He's very defensive against the bigger teams. So it'll be interesting to see what he does. Yeah,
I mean that's why I was saying earlier, mate. It's one of them was Mourinho doesn't deserve that caliber of striker. But I mean, we've had a view from Sam Greenham who said in regards to Tom Ince, because Sam's actually a Hull City fan. By the way, Sam, I hope you've watched Pitch Talk at the FA Cup Final 2014. The man on the phone right now, and that is Nathan McCreef, aka Nathan Arsenal. I was there. The G-Man was there. Jazzy Fizzle was there. We actually missed Matt Whitfield and Elliot Waller, who were actually down at Wembley, but didn't come and find us. But Sam Greenham, who's a whole City fan, as said, hopefully you've watched Pitch Talk at the FA Cup Final 2014. He said about Tom Ince, personally, I think he's a great signing who will get week in, week out football, which young players like him need, and with the added bonus of him playing in the Europa League will be a big thing for him, as he hasn't had much Premiership experience. Also, the signings over the last year of Tom Huddleston, Maynard Figueroa, Alan McGregor, Curtis Davis, Shane Long, Nikita Jelavic, those two we've said on previous shows are good signings. Also, Jake Livermore, Robert Snodgrass, now Tom Ince, and the concept of Michael Dawson. Michael Dawson is in the rumour stage. Apparently, Hull were talking with him, but that's purely a rumour, and you know we don't do rumours. But he was saying shows how far that Hull City have come as a club since he started supporting them in 1996. Can anyone think of another club who's done that well in a little space of time? Swansea City, Stoke City. Those would be the first two that jump out of my head. Swansea, Stoke. So those two would jump out at me. I mean, Nathan, what did you think about the other transfers?
Like Sanya or the Liverpool ones?
Well, all of the rest. I mean, like Emre Can, Reina, Herrera, Sim De Jong, Luke Shaw, Jolion Lescott, among others. What do you think of those before we throw out to the Skypers?
Well, Man United need to rebuild, so it doesn't surprise them they bought who they bought, as you were saying. Luke Lescott, the man with the funny head, he wasn't playing a lot for City, so it was inevitable that he was going to leave because they were going to buy someone else. As you were saying as well, it's a bit of a come down, going from the champions to West Brom, but that's how it goes. At least he can go there and say he's got two league titles and an FA Cup medal. So you know he goes there as a winner. With the Sanya one, it's a case of a little bit disappointed that obviously he's going to a rival, but as you were saying, he is free agent, so it's, you know, our hands, we couldn't really do anything about that. And as well, I think, you know, I don't know if a lot of Arsenal fans would agree, but we're getting Debuchy coming in. I mean,
yeah, he's having his medical today apparently. So yeah,
Debuchy's better going forward. My biggest criticism of Sanya is that he gets forward, but his crossing is terrible. He could take 30 crosses in the game, and literally only 5 of them will get on or find where it's going. His crossing isn't the best. Whereas when I've watched Debuchy, he's end product and getting forward, he's actually a lot better, and then he keeps him out of the French team as well, so that in itself says something. So it's not too, if Debuchy goes through, that's not too much of a bad loss. I just hope the other sort of deals that are rumoured to be happening do happen. But as you were rightly saying, you guys only report what's happened, which is correct. And as well, from an Arsenal perspective, it's like, obviously, we've been there before, Higuain, done deal, fee agreed, and then look what happened there. Yeah. You know what I mean? So as far as I'm concerned, until it's announced on the website or anything like that, it's still sort of up in the air to see what happens. Football's a funny game. So,
I mean, it's one of them was the only thing for sure is nothing's for sure.
Well, that's it. And obviously, we'll go again with you guys, Liverpool. I saw something today. On a source, I saw somewhere that Liverpool buying too many players, 6 or 7 or whatever. And I thought to myself, I don't agree with that, because this season they're in the Champions League, and they're going to need the depth of squad. They're going to be playing every 3 days. Remember last season they only played league games last year, so relatively they only were dealing with about sort of 13, 14 players. But this year, every 3 games they'll need to rotate, keep the squad big. Hence why they bought the players that they're bringing in. Obviously, they're anticipating Suarez going, so obviously they're potentially looking at other areas to improve that. I just honestly think at the moment, you know, we say it every year, but I think this coming season is just going to be just as big as the last, because Chelsea have got points to prove, Liverpool are going to be stronger, Arsenal are going to come back again because they've just won a trophy, City as well. It's all to play for. It's just really exciting. It's just a case of who can be more consistent and who can win the big games and who will be on top at the end. It's just exciting. Looking forward to it.
No, I hear that. I mean, it's one of them ones. The fact for me that there's a lot of interest in moving and shaking that is happening at the moment, and with the window only opening a week ago, there's so much more to happen. That's
Well,
the
this is
that's
it.
the intrigue.
As it gets towards, I mean, a lot of Arsenal fans have been saying, "Oh well, we're not going to do no business till deadline day." I said, "Well, do you know what? In my experience of Arsenal, I'll just wait and see." I mean, if I've been honest, I do expect us to do something in the next couple of weeks. But at the same time, as you've just pointed out, the window only officially opened last week, so we've got a good 6-7 weeks to really, and we need quite well. We're in the market for quite a few, so there is time. I think there's a lot of clubs that are still potentially going to go out there and do what they got to do anyway. So it's going to make interesting reading for everybody, and we'll see what happens.
Definitely. I mean, you know what? Yeah, we've actually got a question for you, G-Man, and Nathan as well. What was from Sam Greenham on Skype? What was going through your mind when James Chester and Curtis Davies scored at Wembley? And were you guys at the game, and where were you sat/stood? I can answer the last part of that question. We were actually at the Watkins Folly pub. And there's been kind of an inside joke between the co-hosts since that day because of the Watkins Folly pub. It was a fantastic place to actually watch it. Pitch talk at the FA Cup final. You'll see what happened in extra time with some of the reactions of G-Man and Nathan as well. I'm not going to ruin this. I'm not going to ruin the surprise, but when James Chester and Curtis Davies scored, these two were in stunned silence. It was like, I'm not telling any tales out of school, am I? I'm not lying.
Before the match, I
ain't lying.
Before the match, I did say it wasn't going to be easy.
Of course not.
I did say it wasn't going to be easy.
When we went 2-0 down, I did remember walking over to Liam and saying, "I'm glad this is a bit early. You've got time, but I can't see what is going on." Yeah. And then because all got the free kick in, I said, "Yeah, you've got some time to get this back." It was just, I said at the time, it was an experience because it was just a crazy game. It was just, for Liam Liam and Jesse as neutrals. Obviously, to them, it's exciting because obviously if it just went out Arsenal's way 3-0, it's like, well, they won the cup. It was easy. But the fact that Hull went 2-0 up, then Arsenal fans went for the emotion of the 9-year thing again, and then we came back and won it in extra time. It was just incredible. And at 2-0, God. But honestly, now, obviously in hindsight, it's easier to say, but I think if it was 2-0 down in the second half, I would have panicked. But because it was early, I thought, well, we've got time. Yeah. We've got time, and thankfully we came back and came good.
Yeah. You know what? I said, if you want more views from Nathan Arsenal, Sam, Pitch Talk at the FA Cup Final 2014, youtube.com/pitch talk.
I've watched that video like 3 times.
We got to spread it. We got to spread it around. Remember, dug it. The footballing revolution we're working so hard to create. Remember, peeps, to everyone watching, listening to this back on the podcast, watching live right now, it's one of them ones, man. We do need you guys to share and spread. But you know what? Speaking of sharing, we're gonna share the floor as well because we've also got we've got a few of the guys in the Skype chat. What's up, JBK and Lily Alumi as well? What's up? Who've just joined us in the Skype chat. And a big shout out to Sam Greenham, who's giving us his views via Skype. Now, what we want to ask is this. Mike Harneman, you wanted to jump in first, didn't you, on these transfers? What do you think on these transfers? Then we'll have Russ Vernon.
Yeah, before I say anything about the transfers, I actually want to just add my opinion about the FA Cup final as well. Right, about what the question was there. I was dreading it. I thought when it was 2-0 and Hull had the one off the line as well, I was like, not again, not another year.
Not again. Because the G-Man Nathan would have been getting absolutely slaughtered by a lot of people.
Oh. Just another one being Jesse, because Jesse just loves ripping into me anyway. But I think, like I put in the Skype chat, the emotion that Arsenal players and the manager and everyone gives us, the fans anyway, it makes you like, he wants to put you on edge first. He wants to like work you up a little bit and then be like, oh, we're still going to win anyway. Didn't need to go through all that.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I mean, what do you reckon on the transfers though?
I think Liverpool have done some really good business. I think Lallana, brilliant signing for you guys. I think, like you were saying, he'll it'll be good when sort of Gerrard comes to the end of his career. But I think even like next season, him and Gerrard in centre midfield, who's going to really, like realistically, want to be playing against that? That is a good sort of centre midfield partnership there on its own, really. As well as obviously you've got the likes of Sturridge, Coutinho, Sterling,
Henderson, Emre Can, among others.
Ibrahim Bar might want to play against that midfield.
Ibrahim
really
Bar,
strong
you know,
side.
this is a prop, Ibrahim Bar. Next thing, dude's gonna bring out another Ibrahim Bakayoko in there.
No, but Demba Bar might want to play against that midfield.
Where did you place last season? That's what I thought. Mike, please carry on.
Yeah, I was kind of saying, I think Liverpool will do really well again next season. They'll be up there, they'll push again. And I think with like the added signings of Lambert and Lallana, and probably with Sturridge, Suarez probably leaving. And if you can get some good money for him, get a quality striker in, I think they can still be up there, even without the likes of Suarez anyway.
Yeah, of course. Like you know what? Like I've been saying to people, it's a case of no one is irreplaceable. People thought that, oh my God, Ian Rush is retiring. How are we going to replace him? We developed Robbie Fowler. Oh, Robbie Fowler's leaving. How are we going to replace him? Michael Owen. Oh, Michael Owen's leaving. How are we going to replace him? Eventually got the £50 million J-Bro. We're never going to replace Torres. We got Suarez. See the pattern here? See the pattern? Fill in the gaps. So it's one of them. What do you reckon of the other transfers? The United transfers, also Costa as well.
Yeah, like you were saying, Costa is a bit of a strange one. He's not an actual out-and-out forward. He's more of an attacking midfield player. So it'd be interesting to see where Mourinho actually plays him. Whether he actually does use him as the lone striker, or whether he changes his formation around a bit, or to sort of suit Costa and try and get Costa into that team. On the other ones, I think Luke Shaw is a good, solid player. He's young, but I wouldn't have gone out and spent that much money on someone who's had one season in the Premier League.
Yeah, there we go. And at 18 as well. It's one of them. Interesting. I mean, Ross Vernon, did you want to jump in? You want to jump in as well, yeah?
Yeah, it links. I've been talking to Mike in the chat below on the show this evening regarding Liverpool as well, and to be honest, I think if Milano will probably start, and so will Lambert for Liverpool against Southampton on the opening weekend, and I think Coutinho will play as well, and I think it'll be the front three will be Coutinho on one wing, Sturridge through the middle, and Lallana on the other, with Lambert just behind, and then Gerrard in behind Lambert. So like 4-1-1-2, 4-1-4 with Henderson and Lambert and Gerrard as the two older midfielders, like 4-3-3. But then Lambert then just behind the strikers with Sturridge through the middle, Lallana on one wing, Coutinho on the other for against Southampton. See how that goes, and hopefully Liverpool could push on, and I reckon with some decent, depending on how much money you get for Suarez if he leaves, I think like Mike says, you can get a striker in there. Some of the transfers which you've not mentioned, which have gone through this evening from the Sky Bet Championship.
It's got to be quick. It's got to be quick though, Russ, because of time.
Watford have completed the signing of Daniel Tozer on a 2-year loan deal. He was on loan last season at the Hornets, and he's completed a 2-year loan deal. He's on Watford's official website. And also from the Sky Bet Championship, goalkeeper Kieran Westwood has joined Sheffield Wednesday in a 2-year contract. He left Sunderland at the end of last season. He's 29. He used to play at Carlisle and Coventry as well, and it's a good signing for Sheffield Wednesday. I think he could place the cream moves on. And Luke Shaw, I think it's a good move for him. But I don't think he's getting the first team straight away with Evra staying on the Old Trafford next season. But hopefully can try and challenge Evra and maybe replace him in the near future.
I hear that.
At Man United.
I hear that. It will be interesting to see who gets the nod, an aging Evra or the fresh face Shaw. That will be the interesting one. I mean, Tom Wood, if you want to jump in, let us know in the Skype chat because I haven't heard much from you. But yeah, I mean, it's one of them ones. Whatever happens, it's going to be interesting next season because a lot of teams are strengthening well and strengthening early. So we're gonna see. We are actually going to see. But you know what? It is time for us to pause that particular track that we are on at the moment, and it is time for us to roll into another segment of the show because there's been some moving and shaking at international level as well. So let's go into
International and continental talking points.
Let's jump right in. And we are actually going to jump in with Nigeria coach Stephen Keshi resigns after exit. Nigeria coach Stephen Keshi has stepped down from his position after the Super Eagles exit from the World Cup in Brazil. France scored twice in the last 11 minutes in Brasilia last Monday to reach quarterfinals at their expense. The 52-year-old was appointed Nigeria boss in 2011. And helped them become AFCON champions 2 years later. Nigeria captain Joseph Yobo also retired from international football following their exit. Fenerbahce's Yobo, who's 33 years old, actually scored a late own goal after Paul Pogba's header had broken Nigeria's resistance. Keshi actually offered his resignation after last year's African Cup of Nations triumph, citing a lack of support and respect, although he was persuaded to stay by Nigeria's sport minister. Now, it's on them was staying in Africa. Algeria coach Vahid Halil Hazodic resigns, vowing never to forgive the press. He's been actually linked with Turkish side Trabzonspor. And you know what? The Algeria coach resigned following the side's successful World Cup campaign, it must be said. But, the Bosnians saw Algeria into the knockout stages for the first time in their history in Brazil before an extra time defeat to Germany in the last 16, which of course we were doing live updates on the show, and we carried on with those text updates after the show as well. But it's one of them. He announced his departure in a statement on the official website of the Algerian Football Federation, taking a swipe at the press as he went by saying he would never forget nor forgive their treatment of him. The only sour note which I want to confront is the behavior of certain, though thankfully not all, members of the press who never cease to stigmatize not only my work but also me and my family, he said. I will never forgive nor forget that. Hey, parasitic media. 2 words for you. Parasitic media. I think I have someone who agrees with me. He'll never forgive how the press have treated him. Now, to all those that doubts or like to criticize what I say about the parasitic media and how I say it, you got the Algeria coach taking swipes at the press / the media as well. So I'm not the only one, am I? Put that in your pipe and smoke it. But anyway, it's one of them was. You know what? Yeah, Algeria were actually unlucky against Germany. They played very, very well. I was impressed. I was personally extremely impressed with Algeria, the way they acquitted themselves against Germany. And it's a case of with Keshi resigning as well. Both of these were bolts out of the blue, because Stephen Keshi resigning from the Super Eagles, I think he could have taken them further. It would have been fantastic to have seen Keshi in charge and potentially retaining the AFCON championship. It would have been fantastic. So I'm kind of saddened to see both of these coaches go, because it's one of them. It's one of them was Algeria's coach. Vahid Halilzadic. It was one of them ones. Halilzadic did very well with Algeria. You got to look at the tools that he's got. He did brilliantly. And Stephen Keshi, I think, mate, in that group that Nigeria were drawn in, hey, gotta give him credit. Gotta give Nigeria huge props for getting through. So I said it just kind of saddens me to see two teams who had underdog teams, not so much Nigeria as underdog because they're AFCON champions, reigning AFCON champions. But it's just the fact, it's just so sad to see one manager leaving because of his treatment by the press, the parasitic media, as I'm going to call them again. And you've got Keshi leaving. He wanted to leave a year earlier because of a lack of support and respect, and it's not good. It's not good to see that people wanting to leave because of a lack of support and respect. And look what both respective managers have done. It's sad to see. It really is sad to see. G-Man, your view before we throw it out.
Yeah, no, I agree with you on the both cases. Well, sort of. The Algerian one more than the Nigerian one.
Okay.
Algeria, yeah, you know, if you know, you look, international football. I've always said it's the top stage, and not the footballing game.
Yeah.
You know, that's where everybody
the pinnacle.
That's where everybody should be aiming for. You know, and you know, to be a manager of your nation, you should have to fall back in. You know, and a lot. Well, it seems like it's not just England then, that where they're building up their managers just to knock them down.
Well, the parasitic media are worldwide.
You know, for you know, someone to achieve what I would consider a lot, because you know, Algeria did do their part in the World Cup. You know, they did battle on the hard. They didn't become the whipping boys that everyone thought they were going to be, and you know, they had a great match against Germany. You know, so
the controversy against Russia as well.
Yeah, so it's like to how you as a manager then picks up stigma from the end of that. I just don't understand.
So I'm saying a lot about the parasitic media. I just don't care.
But I won't act like I know a lot about the Algerian setup and you know what he's all about. So you know, who knows? But it is a loss for the Algerians. Nigeria, Keshi, him wanting to leave. I've always said, man, if someone doesn't want to be there, there's no point of forcing them there.
Yeah.
And in terms of a manager, the person that's you know, holding everyone together, you know, you could say Nigeria are kind of fortunate to actually reach the stages that they did in the World Cup. If he really did want to leave.
Yeah.
Because if he wants to do the best for his country, but on the other side, it's like, oh, I want to leave. I'm not getting the support. He's not actually putting all of his heart into the squad, and I do think that did show in their style of play when thinking about it, because they were just over egotistically defensive, and which you know made their matches a lot more boring than they should have been. So it might be a good fresh start for Nigeria.
Well, you'd hope so. I wouldn't want to see them fall by the wayside just because of all this.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had the stuff with the World Cup bonuses that we mentioned last week as well. So there seemed to be a lot of dissension in the camp, which is a shame. It's a shame. I mean, it's one of them. Was if the Skypers want to jump in, let us know. Let us know in the chat about Keshi and Halilzadeh. Abdicating their roles. I just think it's a real shame. I think it's one of them was because of the way the parasitic media are. The parasitic media are feeding the revolving door of management because it makes for better stories, and it's a disgrace. I'm sorry, but if you're in the parasitic media and you're calling for a manager's head after 4 games or not giving the manager the respect he deserves, then you're a disgrace. Like I think the parasitic media have a huge cross to bear in terms of managers not getting the time that they deserve. So it's one of them ones, man. It's not on. It is legitimately not on. I mean, oh my god. I think this is a text from Big T. I mean, it might be from Big T anyway. But we'll come back to that. Ross Vernon, did you want to jump on Halilzadeh and also Stephen Keshi resigning quickly?
Yeah, my son Stephen Keshi resigning because when I started about that. I was watching one of the other matches on and listening to the show. I was on the show and when I heard about it, I thought it can't be true because I didn't think. I think why has he resigned after taking him to that far? Because he's a bit like. I don't know if you've heard Prandelli left Italy as well after they went out to the group stages. So
we know about that. Yeah,
if Nigeria had gone out to the group stage, I could understand it. But when they got to that 16 and then just went out, then I thought you might have probably tried to stick with them, try and help them get through to the next stage, into the Euros and then probably into the World Cup and try and go one better in the World Cup. It time's up for me now. I can say we've gone to that stage where I want them to be. I move on, fresh face to come in with fresh ideas and try and help the team go a bit further. And with Yobo retiring from international football, I think she's been around quite a bit now. We won the Norwich last season from Fenerbahce, from the Turkish club Fenerbahce, which I follow quite a bit because my auntie's friends support them as well, so I keep a look out for their results. It's often about that is, and with Yobo going in Norwich last season, I thought his time could be on this international career because we've been getting on a bit, but I think he could retire very shortly as well. So hopefully, if some new fresh faces can come in and help and push on.
Well, you always have to get fresh new faces in, and that's why I'm glad Liverpool are doing. My boys are doing business the way we are doing. It's one of them ones. I mean, it's one of them was Sunday Olise was a quality defender back in '98. They ended up replacing him. So it's one of them ones. You gotta have that revolving door going. So it's one of them ones. By the way, we're just gonna come back to I think this is from Big T. Just seen a video of that. Oh my god. You know, I can't even read that one out. I ain't reading that out. I told her I ain't reading that one out. But Sam Greenham on Skype has said, the FA Cup final probably one of the best 12 minutes of his footballing life, and also he thinks Man United have overpaid for Luke Shaw. So, interesting one. Very, very interesting one. I mean, it's one of them ones. That's an odd one. But I mean, it's one of them ones that. The Keshi thing and Halilzadeh, it's just a shame. It really is. It really is an absolute shame. The way it kind of. The way it all kind of came out, and it was completed today as well. It was that Halilzadeh, obviously the stories from today, Monday, 7th of July 2014, and it was just madness. Madness. But you know what? Yeah, it is one of them ones. As much as I like dancing, because I like dancing, we know South American infused tunes. Go, what we got on the socials?
Now, I was going to say, before we move on, just moving back to the transfers quickly, we asked them, Joleon Lescott's departs of Man City and joins West Brom for free. Is this a great fall from grace? Was this a good move by Joleon? Joe Austin has actually said, sit on the bench in a winning team or play in a team that lose more than they win. You become a pro footballer to play football, not sit on the bench. So for me, good move.
That's not a bad shout. I like that. Joe Austin, thank you for your view, actually. That's a very interesting viewpoint. I like that. I quite like that. He's got a point, though. He has actually got a point. I mean, it is a fall from grace, but like I said earlier, it's a case of sometimes you got to move down to get regular football. So, excuse me, sneeze is coming. Sneeze is coming. Right. It's one of them. But you know what? It is time. And yeah, Tom, we're way ahead of you on that one. The next segment, we're coming into that. So hold your thoughts on that. We're coming into that one because there's a lot to be said about a certain two-time convicted former fraudster. Man convicted for fraud twice. But you know what? Curveball right on the strike one. But you know what? The fact of the matter is, let's get on because we're reaching the home straight of the show. So let's get into.
What's up with that?
Yeah. 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 We're here. You are. Now, you know what, yeah? Now, you know what? It's a case of we are going to start off. What? Ah! Let's call it. From Big T, I love this. Luis Suarez will be competing in the triple threat $1 million contract ear-biting match in the US involving himself, Mike Tyson, and Mick Foley. And if you know the story of Mick Foley, he lost an ear in Munich, and it was Vader who actually accidentally ripped it off. I love that. I love that. It's one of them ones. Oh, that's cool, eh? But you know what? Yeah. In terms of what's up with that, I've had some funny ones. But you know what? We're gonna start off with the oddest one. Massimo Cellino axes Paddy Kenny from Leeds over date of birth, apparently. Thursday, 3rd of July 2014. The increasingly bizarre world of Leeds United has taken another turn for the strange after it emerged that Massimo Cellino, their maverick new owner, has such a dislike of the number 17, it has turned him against one of the club's key players who was born on that day. So he won't like me then because of my birthday being on St. Patrick's Day. But I don't care. Is what I live with. Because we don't care. Cellino is so suspicious of the number 17 that he had seats at his former club, Cagliari, taken out and replaced with 16B. Now he's instructed the new Leeds head coach, Dave Hockaday, not to select Paddy Kenny after discovering that the goalkeeper's birthday is on the 17th of May and concluding that he's bad luck for the Championship club. Paddy Kenny, the second highest earner on Leeds United at £10,000 a week, has been left at home while other players embark on the pre-season trip to Italy, which Ross Vernon mentioned earlier, and he will not play for the club again. Cellino, who also has a fear of purple, has separate issues about Kenny allegedly being overweight, but is said to have reacted emotionally when he found out the 36-year-old goalkeeper had a connection with the number 17. The Italian superstition about that number is so strong that he's told Hockaday it must not form part of the squad list next season. Michael Brown previously wore 17 for Leeds, but was released at the end of the season. The issue goes back to Cellino's time in Italian football when he says there was only one occasion in 20 years that Cagliari won or drew a game on the 17th of a month. In a recent interview, he remembered that victory and put it down to him asking the club supporters to wear the dreaded purple to the game. The whole stadium was purple on the 17th. We won because I think that bad luck is like algebra. Minus and minus is positive. Purple and 17, they became positive and we won. That's the only time. This guy. I'm sorry, Cellino. This guy's. Oh, I'm sorry. This guy's stupid. This is the view. This is not the view of Pitch Talk, any of its sponsors, affiliates, or subsidiaries. This is the personal view of yours truly, Liam Angel, aka Straight Shooting LJA. Yeah, Mike. He did say two wrongs make a right, and the fact of the matter is, yeah, if Cellino is, that's terrible. We'll come back to that. If Cellino is making decisions based on superstition and like color or any sort of personal, if he's making business decisions based on stupid personal superstitions, Leeds United, you think Ken Bates was bad? you're screwed. It's one of them ones. You got to look at it like this, G-Man. And I posed this actually to Russ Vernon when Russ actually when he actually mentioned this story to me. And it was a case of, and I was like, okay, all right, fine. Imagine this. Imagine Massimo Cellino. Imagine someone came to Massimo Cellino and said, right, we know that there's no money in Leeds United. We're gonna offer you, hypothetically, of course, £100 million to sponsor the club, to be shirt sponsors. We're gonna offer you £100 million, but hypothetically, the company is called 17, and that's not that outlandish because obviously Pitch Talk at Alexandra Park, Pitch Talk on the road at Alexandra Park FC. Philip Wick's company, who he's CEO of, is called 14. So a hypothetical that is kind of in there. But anyway, it's one of them was where, imagine there's a company called 17, comes to Massimo Cellino and says, right, we're going to offer you 100 million. And Leeds United need that money to stay afloat. And if they don't sign the deal, they're going to go bust. But the other snag, not only that the company's called 17, but that the company's logo is purple. According to his superstition, Cellino wouldn't take that deal because of his superstitions. So, in theory, in this hypothetical world, Cellino, because of his superstitions, would let Leeds fold rather than do that. In theory. Theory and practice are two different things. I know that. I always say that. But do you see how stupid these superstitions are? And why you shouldn't be making business decisions based on a personal superstition? Is it one of them ones?
Yep.
And as I've said before, I wouldn't trust Massimo Cellino as far as I can throw him anyway, because he's been convicted of fraud twice. What's this? 3 strikes and you're out. Is this Cellino? Are we talking about Massimo Cellino or Luis Suarez? In terms of 3 strikes and you're out.
That's just.
It's mad, isn't it? And the fact that where was it? Minus and minus is a positive. Not always. Hey Massimo, not always. All I could say is one moron plus another moron does not equal some Einstein-esque superpower. No. Platini plus Blatter equals an absolute crap storm. You see where I'm going? Minus plus a minus does not always equal a positive. I'm sorry, Cellino is crazy as cat crap. This is the kind of story where if it's not true, then I will still stand by my statement that I wouldn't trust Cellino anyway, because I've been saying that for ages. But if it turns out that rumor has it, apparently we haven't seen the proof of it, but apparently it's not true. But the fact of the matter is, if that story is true, then it's what I'm sorry, but Leeds United are going to turn into a laughing stock under Cellino. And I feel for the fans. Including our resident Leeds United supporter, Russ Vernon, who has mentioned in the Skype chat that apparently this is not true, and apparently Paddy Kenny's agent has said it's not true. But it's one of them ones. Why would you let a story like this leak out if it wasn't true? That would be my leverage the other way. But what's your view on this?
You know what? Not to go into anything lengthy, but I agree with you. Like, it doesn't make business sense allowing your phobias, your to me, it's what's up with that, man. And I always sound like that. I'm just baffled. So he's got rid of Paddy Kenny because basically he's born on a certain
17th of May, yeah. Because superstitions about the number 17. You know what? It reminds me of actually.
You want me to be real with you? That's rubbish. That's bait. That's just an excuse.
BS, and-
He just wants to get rid of Paddy Kenny. He doesn't like Paddy Kenny. For whatever reason, he doesn't like the guy. Maybe because he's bald. I don't know. Maybe it's baldism. But he just wants to get rid of him. And Paddy Kenny is bald by what I remember, yeah?
Maybe it's baldism.
Paddy Kenny, I think you should go to some form of judiciary system, read your rights, because that is some real BO what's been said.
Yeah, it's
because like you said, if it was a business deal, and you know what, it would be good to see a wise company come out there and just do that quickly. You know, just set up a business deal. Say, look, on the 17th of May, let's set up a deal, to do exactly what you said, and see what Chilino says. I bet he starts rubbing his hands and he wants to sign that contract.
Yeah.
17 years contract, 50 million a year on the 17th of May. Yeah.
But you see how deep certain
17 investors. No, I get what you're saying. It's crazy.
I mean, Mike Carter said, "Oh yeah, what's it? He has a Phoebe of Yorkshire rivals." He meant phobia. See, autocorrect, like we were talking about before the show.
Yeah.
Autocorrect to get you in trouble.
Oh my, autocorrect make you look like
Oh my god.
I've got to say this, man. What's up with that? Yeah, I was writing a message earlier on that, and the message was meant to say,
oh god, he's actually gonna say it.
Going to play football tomorrow. And it clashes with Brazil versus Germany. And obviously, no one wants to miss that match because that match is going to be so great. Yeah. So I was saying to the lads, all right, why don't we pull a sickie? But as I was typing it in my iPhone, the iPhone then changes it to sucky, and I pressed enter. Crazy.
How can you pull a sucky?
I don't know. Ask that girl in Magaluf.
Oh my god! Oh my god!
Who let the dogs out?
Oh my god! He actually went there. Oh no! It's like, oh my god! All I can say to what the G-Man just said is this.
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I don't like it.
That's all I can say. Oh my god. Oh, that is utterly mad. That is madness. I mean, Ross Vernon, you wanted to jump in on the Paddy Kenny apparent sacking due to the 17 thing. I think there's a deeper reason in this. There has to be a deeper reason. Seriously, you can't make a serious business decision based on a stupid superstition like that. Even I'm doubting the validity of the story now. But Ross Vernon, how about it?
Yes, right. So as we mentioned about Gilliam, that was early hours on Thursday morning at like that's what I was speaking to you, finished speaking to you about 2:15 Thursday morning. We got in the situation. First mentioned it here 20 to 1 in the morning. Then later that evening, one of the journalists who was from the local paper in Leeds, and also that Get Over Here in Rotherham as well. But bad news for Marion Law fans. The days 17th of June. Hashtag LFC, hashtag could this be magic? So I tweeted him saying PFA to investigate claims Chilino wants to drop Kenny over birth date. Any truth, Richard Byram, his name is, so big shout out to you. He tweeted him back saying the club have dismissed it and so has his agent. They might just.
Oh, Ross, where'd you go?
Which I replied.
Do you want to repeat? Do you want to repeat that bit? That bit just a second ago. You dropped out for a second.
Yes. So so I went to him. Have you any truth over this story that PFA to investigate claims Chilino wants to drop Paddy Kenny? He replied back saying the club have dismissed it and so has his agent. The man just been making short, which I replied back saying, cheers mate, one of the local journalists. And regarding one of the reasons behind Kenny still being in Leeds and training at Thorpe Arch. Because he come back a bit, having had too much fruit over the summer holidays. So he decided. So they've kept him back here. Also, McCormack. Mike mentioned about McCormack, and McCormack's still in Leeds as well. McCormack has been granted extended leave by the club due to stress and family-related problems as well. So he's been granted extended leave. Lots McCormack, and he's set to fly out to Italy on Wednesday to join up with his teammates over there. So
let's keep it because of time. We got to keep it to Cellino, to the whole Cellino Paddy Kenny deal. What's your view on it?
When I first saw it, I thought it was real, but when I saw which newspaper article it was in, because he was in a couple, one of them is a bit like the Daily Mail, because it was in the Daily Star, so never believe out in that, because it was in there when I first read it. He's also in the Guardian as well. When I first saw it was in there, I thought it can't be true, but when I saw it in the Daily Mail, but when I saw it in the Guardian, I thought it may be true. But then when I found out that both Kenny and Leeds United both dismissed the story, I thought it can't be true. So let's just move on. And Cellino said to Michael Brown when he phoned him that he was being released from his contract was up in the summer. He said to him, if you want to stay at Leeds United, you'll have to change your number, and you can have Danny Pugh's own number. Pugh was number 16 last season, so I think he's going to be having there's talks coming out of Leeds and Ellen Road. Instead of having number 17 next season, he's going to have 16A and 16B as the squad numbers next season.
Oh God! All I can say is, because we got to move on. All I can say is Cellino, like I've said before, Cellino's going to make your club a laughing stock, and I don't want your club. I don't want Leeds United to be a laughing stock, but Cellino is going to end up making it that way. I'm sorry. I mean he's gonna make it more of a laughing stock. Then wait, hold on, G-Man. What was that comment from TT Camera? I want to read that. Gonna make it more of a laughing stock than TT Camera, who has actually said, when I left Liverpool, not many people thought I could have been replaced. Liverpool will survive without Suarez. Yo, TT, we replaced you quicker than we replaced that green kit that we had that season with the green and black stripe. So I just wanna leave that there. We replaced you, Yari Littman, and we've replaced better players than you. But anyway, I'm leaving that one. Mike Hardiman, you wanted to jump in before we move on?
Yeah, there's one thing I want to say, and it's kind of to do with this, and well, it sort of is about the number 17. I think that's a strange thing to get rid of someone, or to tell someone they're not needed because of that. But looking at their management team, Junior Lewis, the assistant, and David Hockaday, both born on the 9th of the month. Something else going on? I think there could well be,
I don't know. I just think it's crazy. 16A and 16B. If I was the FA or even the Football League, I'd be like, no, you're not doing that. Like with Clinton Morrison, where what's it? He couldn't be a number 10. Was it? He couldn't be a number 10, so he got 9. So what's it? Got 9+1 or 8+1 or something stupid like that. So no, I wouldn't allow it. I wouldn't have a bar of it. But speaking of what's up with that, though, Brazil official suspended over Chile tunnel clash. Brazil's senior press official has been given a one-match ban for his role in a flare-up in the tunnel at half-time during the World Cup last 16 match against Chile, as the dispute continued to rumble last Monday. This from 30th of June 2014. He has been suspended for one match, a FIFA spokeswoman said when asked for an update on the case involving Brazil spokesman Rodrigo Paiva. He's been accused by one of Chile's players of punching him in the face. The spokeswoman said the punishment was automatically applied after Paiva was sent off by the match referee. The case is being considered by the organization's disciplinary committee, which could hit Paiva with a longer ban. Paiva said after the match, which Brazil won on penalties, that there was a scuffle with Chile striker Mauricio Pinilla at half-time and that he shoved him in self-defense. Hey, that's just... You get accused of punching someone in the face. Mate, it'd be like either you did or you didn't. But also, even funnier than that, South Korea greeted with the ultimate insult upon return home from World Cup exit. This is also from the 30th of June 2014. They are calling it the plane of shame these days. It is the moment a national side heads off for a World Cup finals armed with their new kits, fresh luggage and high hopes, but return prematurely before the last 16 begins with their tails tucked firmly between their legs. There will be plenty of unhappy countries heading home without justifying their stay in Brazil, especially when you think of England, Italy, Spain, Portugal, Japan and Ivory Coast. But some fans accept losing better than others. South Korea reached the last four of the World Cup finals under Goose Hiddink when they hosted the tournament with Japan in 2002, as we well know. It's one of them was, as such, their football-obsessed country were banking on another joyride in South America, but ended up party to Asia's worst performance at a World Cup finals in 24 years, with Japan, Iran, and Australia failing to clear the first hurdle. Sorry, Mo. Iran failed to clear the first hurdle. And also, sorry, Mr. Ian Kerr, Socceroos, man, they couldn't get out of the group. But it's one of them was when South Korea's ashen-faced squad posed for a photograph after flying from Sao Paulo to Seoul last Monday. They were greeted with flying toffees from some fans unhappy with their performance. It basically sent out the message, go eat a toffee or get lost. Or do one, or something stronger that we can't print on a family-friendly website and we can't promote on a family-friendly show. I'm sorry that we weren't able to return the love and the support shown by our people during the World Cup, said the South Korea coach Hong Young-bo. It was due to my deficiency as a coach that we didn't put up the desired results, but our players all have a bright future ahead and not everything was lost from this tournament. It could have been worse, with Italy being pelted with tomatoes after the 1966 tournament. No, that's messed up. Pelting teams with tomatoes. You losers. It's like, toffees, though. Licking toffees. Imagine those toffees were frozen. Like, that's going to hurt. It'd be one of them ones. You'll end up having to call people, instead of Coin Man, it'd be Toffee Man.
Toffee Man.
Come like Gambit from X-Men. Look at toffees at people. And the Brazil official suspended for apparently punching someone in the face. I find funny. Surely there's CCTV in the tunnel. Yeah. If you box someone in the face, you've been seen. You ain't got a leg to stand on. It's almost as dumb as Suarez coming out. I tripped and I fell into Cellini. And like his shoulder hit my tooth and I've got a pain in my tooth. It's like, Frederick, no. It's like, no. It's like, no, just admit you did it. Oh, God. I love this show. G-Man, what's your view on the Brazil official suspended and toffee thing as well?
My views on Brazil's suspended and the toffee man, same as you. It's hilarious. This is absolutely hilarious. No, there's throwing toffees is dangerous. That's all I can think of. It's not like you throw a pizza, you know. At least the produce is soft and sticky.
What?
I'm saying at least the produce is soft and sticky, so it's gonna come off.
I am not going down that road that you're trying to lead me down.
I'm not leading you down any road. One half of the tag team champions of the world
of Roman. Speaking of Big T, actually, he's actually sent in a funny text. Just downloaded a video of Luis Suarez's greatest moments. It was only 3 megabytes. That's terrible. That is utterly terrible. Trying to replace Luis Suarez at Liverpool is exact. Oh my God. No, I've got Big T. You're wrong for this one. Trying to replace Luis Suarez at Liverpool is exactly like trying to replace Rolf Harris as Santa Claus in the children's Xmas party. Virtually impossible. Insane. Nah, Big T, you know what? We're going to end the show on that point. Because that is cruel. Nah, that is not on. We're ending the show on that one. Big T has just stopped the show there. Nah, it is about time for us to end anyway. But G-Man, what have we got on the socials before we finish
So
up?
before we finish, we had one message from. Alright, let me go to Hootsuite. Where do we have Hootsuite?
Giving away the secrets. Hootie.
Alright, let me go back to Facebook because Facebook was popping. What was popping?
You putting on an American accent.
Alright, we put Adam Lallana moves to Liverpool for 25 million. Tidy business by LFC, but was he needed? Joe Austin has said Coutinho, Sterling, Henderson, Allen, and then he's put Sterling again because Sterling is worth 2 players, but equals not really. Laugh out loud. Then he said I think Fabregas would have been a better signing.
Not necessarily, but
and then he's added to compliment what he said about Jolyon Lescott. So if you remember, he said sit on the bench in a winning team or play in a team that loses more than they win. You become a pro footballer to play football and not sit on the bench. So for me, it's a good move. If you remember that comment earlier on, he's also gone on to say exactly. I've said we agree with you on that. As co-host. LJA has rightfully just said sometimes you have to take a fall so that you can get back on your feet. And then he's gone on to say exactly, look at Anelka went from playing for big clubs like Arsenal, PSG, Real Madrid and Liverpool, then he took a fall, went to Bolton but ended up at Chelsea winning the Champions League.
Great point. Superb point. Joe Austin, superb point. Gotta say. You know what? It is one of them ones. It's nice to end the show with a bit of interaction. Shall we give him a wave? Because it's time. Time, baby. We've been seasoned today, baby. It's time for us. It's time for us to start making some. You know how much I love doing this show? Because I always think, what the hell? I always think when I'm doing this show, sometimes there are times where I think,
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it.
I love it. I love it. But you know what? It is on that ones where it's time for me to tip my hat to everyone. I'm not bold. See you later, peeps. But it's one of them ones where we do have to mosey on a little, get along, little doggy. And Sam Greenham has said, "What's up with Hull owner Assam Alam still trying to change the club's name from Hull City AFC to the Hull Tigers after his bid has already been turned down by the FA?" Yeah, what is up with that? You think Alam would take no for an answer? But anyway, it's time for us to vacate the place with a haste.
I need to stop.
Hi, I'm John Sitton and I'm here with Gavin, Liam and Gerald on Pitch Talk.
The football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions.
Hello, I'm Rob Brest. My name is Christian Carambeu.
I'm grassroots coach Manisha Taylor.
Hi, I'm Matt Hodgson, director of the 4-year plan, and you're listening to Pitch Talk, the only place to get your Monday night footballing fix.
Make sure you join the revolution.
The pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk.
I'm Andy Copeland from the Glennet Southern Amateur League.
Philip Wick, I'm CEO of 14.
I'm Rob Lusher, former chairman of Ibis FC.
I'm Samir Swanee, co-founder and co-director of Motivate Sports and Fitness.
And you're listening.
And you're listening to Pitch Talk.
Yeah! Yeah, Swallow Lemma, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, straight shooting LJ, the G-Man and Jesse Fizzle proudly bring to you the football talk show that pulls no punches and holds back nothing on opinions. Because...
I don't know what the hell's going on here. Wait a minute. But I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
No, I'm kidding. Because the pitch is where we eat.
The pitch is where we sleep.
And the pitch is where we talk. We're always switching stuff up. But you know what? The fact of the matter is, we are your Monday Night Football and Fix. www.pitch-talk.com is our official website. Keep up with everything we're doing through our official website. Also, facebook.com/Pitch Talk. Become a fan, become a friend, become a member of the group. Join the footballing revolution we are working so hard to create. At Pitch Talk on Twitter. Twitter.com/Pitch Talk. Tweet with us, follow us, see what we're up to. MySpace.com/Pitch Talk. PitchTalk.blogspot.com or .co.uk. And it's one of them ones. Mine. It's one of those. See the newest blogs, including blogs by yours truly, Straight Shooting LJ, the G-Man, Jezzy Fizzle, Big T, aka Thomas Hewitt. Also, blogs by Russ Fern and Dave Meir, aka @MeirC on Twitter, and many, many more. Also, youtube.com/Pitch Talk for all of the latest videos, including Pitch Talk at the 2014 FA Cup final. Oh my word, and so much more. The Pitch Talk Meet series, the Pitch Talk on the Road series, and many more videos. Videos that won't be getting
-5 stars.
Definitely not. Also, 07535804466 is the mobile number. Call us, text us, let us know your views, as Nathan McCreef, aka Nathan Arsenal, did. So big shout out to him. Big shout out to Russ Vernon, Tom Wood, Mike Heineman. Also, a big shout out to Jamie Bailey, aka JPK. Big shout out to Sam Greenham, who's been joining us with his views via Skype as well. Big shout out to Lily Alumi, who stopped by briefly as well. Also, big shout out to Samir Sawney of Motivate Sports and Fitness. Big shout out to Ian Kerr of Finn White Line Magazine. Big shout out to the Section 357 show. Big time shout outs, of course, to everyone tweeting with us. Joe Austin, big time shout out to him. Also big time shout outs to Insitu.co, LJA Productions. It's one of them ones. Apparently Rich as well. Also big shout out to Mike Harneman and Storm FM, of course, for life. Big shout out to Tara as well. Big time shout out. We shouted out earlier. Also big time shout outs to a lot of other people. But hey, big shout outs to Umbrey and Ali, friend of the show, Manisha Taylor as well, a Pitch Talk Meets guest and a friend of the show. Big time shout outs. And it's one of them ones. It has been showtime. I have been Straight Shooting LJA.
And I've been the G-Man.
And on behalf of Jezzy Fizzle, big shout out to the third part of the trifecta, and that is Jezzy Fizzle. He gets the last shout out of the night.
The international player.
Big
O!
No, it's Tigo. Oh, it's Tigo.
Oh, it's Big O!
Bright lights and the Tigo beating. It belongs to Jezzy. The last shout out is for Jezzy Fizzle. Thank you very much, people. Good night.